Spirits. Spirits with spirits. Spirits with spirits.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 14 of season 2 of Spirits of Spirits. I'm your host, John Watkins, with your gracious host with the most bows, Mr. David
Host,
Lowe.
host.
We got a
What's
great
up, everybody?
show lined up for you tonight. We got a special guest, Mr. Brett
You
Wagner.
already messed it up, bro.
I've been drinking a lot today.
The
Brett
the
Wagner,
the
the Lost
the
Leatherface.
the big swag himself.
Yeah.
My brother from another mother.
Brother from another mother. I thought I was your brother from another mother.
I've got so many different mothers, so but he was I mean, he probably doesn't feel the same way about me, but he was one of my best friends in pro wrestling.
And that's
That
awesome because a lot of people, we don't talk a lot about that, about your actual you actually had a pro wrestling career back in the day, which is freaking awesome.
it was 4 years. It wasn't like
Yeah,
a
no,
whole lot, but I
career,
didn't
but you had a stint in the pro wrestling gig,
I
and
I
that's
had a little bit. I was
great.
on TV. I got on TV. I signed autographs. I had fans.
Yeah,
It was all right.
it's
But
awesome.
nobody ever knows the name the Family Man David Lowe, and that was my wrestling gimmick, mainly because I would go to the ring with my kids, and I tried to start out as a heel or a bad guy,
Yes,
but my kids kept cheering for me, and
you're not a bad guy.
and I kept trying, try and tell them I'm a bad guy. You're supposed to boo me, and they didn't understand that. So one week I came out, and the whole crowd was calling me daddy and cheering for me and stuff because of the kids. And so then the ring announcer just changed my gimmick right there on the fly, and they called me the Family Man.
The family.
Yeah.
That makes sense, honestly.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I kind of did that for them, so because that was my goal, was to do a match in front of my kids. That was my ultimate goal.
Why am I getting fucking EMF spikes over here? What the fuck?
I don't know. Speaking of which, I need to get mine going.
Uh so uh family man, awesome. I love the fact that it's one of my I love the fact that you actually did pro wrestling. So, and the reason we talk about this because Brett Wagner is he was a commodity in the wrestling atmosphere. And he's gonna be on the show, and he's done multiple stints with television and movies, and
Yep.
he was gracious enough to talk with us. Thanks to Dave over there. Uh, but I do have to say, want to first start off with saying thank you for Anchor for
Thank you,
allowing
Anchor.
us
Thank
to
you, Anchor.
audio portion of this live
We
broadcast and putting it out
th-
there
there
to
it is for you, bro.
everybody, like, oh, so I don't forget names. Awesome. To people like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podcast Radio Public, and of course Breaker. They graciously not only do this for us for free, but they actually sponsor us a little bit. So it's awesome, and I want to say thank you for Anchor for doing that. And of course, want to thank Restream. Restream is what allows us to do the multi streams where we can be live on the Facebook page or the Twitter page, the YouTube page, Vaughn Live, and Twitch. So, want to thank Restream for that. They do not sponsor us, but we give them the shout out just because it's freaking amazing that this is available. So, anybody that wants to start up podcasts, go ahead and check those two places out. It'd be awesome. And I think you'll find a lot of success using those two platforms. But man, what a great show! So we're gonna talk to Brett Wagner. We're gonna talk. We got a lot of questions, I think, between me and you to talk to us about this guy. He's gonna call in tonight in about 10 minutes because we started
Yeah.
this show really late. Hey,
Started this show really late.
but this show is switching days again because my ass is changing schedules.
Your ass is picky, and
Something
so
about working 80 hours a week got to me.
yeah, something about that. But yeah,
Haunted.
I'm going to bring it up during the show, but I wanted to. So this is a picture of Brett.
Yes, the
Um,
crazies. I remember him in the crazies.
yeah, and I remember him from like episodes of Castle and
Yeah,
things like that, to where he's been in there.
I'm not too sure
Um,
I remember him in Sons of Anarchy. And I'm
Room.
interested on
yeah. And
where.
I never watched Sons of Anarchy, and I feel bad about it,
How
but
do you
not
not
really.
watch that? It's our hometown fucking show, man.
Yeah, I
Disrespectful.
Just
no, I'm sorry. Shut up, Ghost Tube, fucking bastard. Um,
Elderly.
and
disrespect.
elderly. And they called you elderly.
Shut up again.
Oh, that's fucking
Just
awesome.
because I had to put my teeth in this morning.
But yeah, I specifically do remember him in the crazies when they go to the truck stop.
Hmm.
I remember him. It's phenomenal that I'm like, wow, I can't wait to talk to
But
this guy.
yeah,
And
no,
about some stuff.
he's so awesome. He's a great dude, and I really wish we could have got him on video, but unfortunately, technical difficulties as they were, it didn't work out. But
Yep,
we are going to have him on the call.
yep.
I have no idea what he's going to say. I have no idea what he's going to talk about. But our theme tonight is haunted movie sets.
Haunted movie sets, and I
Yeah,
hope
so
he's talking about because he is the lost Leatherface. I'm
yeah,
hoping he
we're
talks
we're
a little bit about that.
we're definitely going to talk about that. Um, and it's really funny because he has a Facebook page for the Lost Leatherface. I guess this is a thing.
Really?
Yeah. Um, so I want him to tell the story of what happened, but he was Leatherface in the 2003
Guilt.
remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Yes.
but he was only on set for a week, and mine just said
That's
God.
interesting.
He was only on set for a week and he got hurt. So um, I'm not saying that something happened paranormally, but that would be kind of cool. Um, uh, but no, he was the when I first started in pro wrestling down in Southern California, he was the man I interviewed with.
Really?
And it was really interesting. He was the first person I met with UPW, and because basically I went to one of the shows and I was like, okay, these guys seem really low budget, but I like how they're doing stuff. I think I can help them. So I emailed them and I just said, hey, if you guys need any help technical wise,
Yeah.
with lighting, with music, with computer stuff, I can get you on the internet.
Yes.
Do webcasts before webcasts were popular. This was back in '99,
Yeah.
so
If you guys don't know, Dave is the our techie.
I do all the tech support for Spirits with Spirits. Um, but it's a God, it was really interesting because I remember, the first time we spoke on the phone, he goes, "Are you in shape?" And I go, "Well, if round is a shape, then I'm in shape." And he's like, "Well, you're gonna have to get in shape because you're going to be training." Because I was like, "Yeah, you don't have to pay me. Just let me train. Just let me
Yeah.
learn how to do it." I wasn't planning on actually being out there. I just wanted to learn how to do the stuff.
Yeah.
and I think I got fairly good at it and got in pretty decent shape. So they started putting me out there, but I didn't like being as heavy as I was. And so I ended up losing the weight and being a referee. And I think that's where I was happiest
Oh,
was because
okay.
as a referee, I could do like 3 or 4 matches at a show because
Okay.
they'd have me in a bunch of times and I wouldn't have to worry about it. Whereas if I was wrestling, I would do one match and that was it. So 3 hour show and I do a 10-minute match and I'm done.
Yep.
But as a referee, I do like 3 or 4 matches, and if there was ever a point where a referee had to take a bump
Yeah.
for whatever reason, I was the one who was called in to do that because I trained. I trained. I could take the shot, and I had a hard enough head to where if somebody actually hit me, it wouldn't hurt too bad.
Oh,
Um,
I just realized we are not live right now on our Facebook page for some reason.
why not?
I don't know.
Yeah. No, we're not. No, we're on Spirits of Spirits. I see it.
Do you?
Yeah, it's on the event channels.
Yeah. It's not showing up as our live right now.
Oh, you bastard. All that stuff I said about Restream, I take it all back.
Yeah, we were for some reason not live on Facebook, and I don't know why.
It says going live soon. Doesn't say that we're live at all.
Unless that there's an X mark next to our Facebook post on the post. So I went to go check to see what the hell is going on. Huh. That is I don't know what the hell happened there.
Spirits of Spirits updating their website address. We talked. Okay, so that's there. Add a
Well,
time
son of a
change.
bitch. Yeah, they got us live right now on oh. How do you do a poll? How do you do a poll live on YouTube, Dave?
Well, I'm not an admin on the YouTube page, but if you go to the chat,
Yeah.
I think you'll see the three dot option, and I think you can click on that up at the top, and you can do a poll, and you like choose a couple of options and bring them up. I have to go on mine. I have to go on my YouTube, and I can kind of do it,
Huh.
but I know I did it when I did my first live
Uh,
stream for the lowdown. I just
and
don't know. I don't know if you can do it here.
um,
So I don't know if it's not gonna let me because I'm not an admin on.
that's not hard for you to do, but huh. Oh, there it is. No, that's not what I wanted. Huh. I was aware that Facebook is like, no. We're not showing you today. uh, which really sucks that
Yeah,
Facebook is not on here. That's our
yeah, I don't
main
know. It's
page
there. It's in the thing that it's streaming.
on Facebook.
Yeah, in Restream, it shows that channel there,
Yeah,
but it's not in. Is it because we changed the time? But it shouldn't be.
I don't see why it would be showing up like that, even if we were late. I don't see why it would do that.
Yeah, because we were a little bit late, but once we started going live, it should have just done it.
Yeah, it's very weird.
Strange. Strange also.
Very weird.
Yes, I am your friend.
Let's do this.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed, dude.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ta ta da. Um,
I don't know why it is not going live here right now. That's weird. Oh well.
I'm excited to get Brett on. It's gonna be fun.
I am. Oh shit! There he is.
Speak of the devil.
I
Do you want
better
me to
answer.
answer or do you want to answer?
I'll let you answer. You ready?
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Hit and answer.
Hello, you're on the air with Spirits and Spirits. This is David. Is this Brett?
Can you hear you?
Hello. I can't
There,
hear anything.
You can't hear.
there you go.
You can't
I
hear.
can I can hear you now.
Okay, good.
Oh man. How you
How
doing,
you
bro?
doing? I'm hanging in there, hanging in there. Nice,
Good.
lovely, nice, lovely night. Just fed the dog. The wife's watching a movie, so I got some free time.
That's amazing. I just threw your picture up on the stream so people know what you look like.
Oh, that's great. Well, I kind of look like that. Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah.
Hey, Brett, how we doing? I'm John.
How many people are on there?
Me
Just
and Dave.
just the two of us.
Oh, okay.
So you got
Gotcha. Guys,
myself.
everything good.
We got
What,
yeah, we got
what were you talking about earlier? What did I miss?
We were having technical difficulties on Facebook. We were trying to figure that out.
again, we were having technical difficulties trying to get on Facebook. But we were just introing you, talking about you and our my days with you at UPW and how that was going.
Did you tell the people how? Did you tell the folks how we met?
Yeah,
He was
I did
talking a
tell him
little.
how we met.
Yeah.
What do you remember about how we met? And silence.
That's a good question. Did you you didn't did you sign up for wrestling school to do something in particular, or
No,
was
I,
it
I
just
I don't know if you remember, but I actually signed up to help in the production area,
that's right, that's right.
and then I interviewed with you because in exchange I was going to get trained, and I remember you asking me if I was in shape, and I said if round is a shape, then I'm in shape.
Well, you were in better shape than me, and I lasted 5 years in the 6 years in the business. So
Yeah, well, I only lasted four.
you okay.
But yeah, I ended
No,
up getting out in
wrestling is
2003.
wrestling's a tough business. You know, a lot of our we were very lucky that a lot of our friends are still there wrestling today, but it's by the grace of God that they are. You know, and if they weren't in good shape, even the guys that don't look like they're in shape are still in good shape, and that they can last 20 years in the business. Even if you can even last 10 years in the business, very tough.
It's a rough,
But you see the
rough on the body there.
Yeah,
no, you see the Samoa Joes, you see the John Cenas, you see all these guys that have lasted a long time,
yeah,
and now are John Cena now being a movie star, doing the TV shows, and I imagine Samoa Joe will probably be next, because he's been wrestling a long time. I know the body, he's been hurt here and there. So, and he's a
yeah,
very smart, funny guy. So I would think that the acting will probably be next for him.
Yeah, it translates pretty good to it.
yeah. I think so too. Yeah, and John Cena and Samoa Joe, these are guys that we worked with back in those UPW days. In fact, I'm going to throw a picture up.
Young
Um,
days of John.
young days, John Cena. Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm going to throw this one up, and you're not looking at this, but this is a picture of us at one of the UPW light shows, and it's
is
you,
that Eric
me.
on your shoulder?
That's David. That's my son
David,
David, my number two. So that's you, me, and John Cena, and we're sitting on the apron talking to the crowd after the show, and that was one of my favorite
Oh yeah, I
things.
remember doing that.
Yeah, that was one of the favorite things that we did for the UPW light shows is that we would always get together with the crowd after the show and answer questions. talk to them about the
Yeah.
show and how everything works. And I thought that was a really cool thing. I really like that about UPW and wrestling in general.
Well, so it's one of those businesses. I started at like 30 years old, right? I was having a midlife crisis and wasn't getting the acting work, and I was like, I knew this guy who was Rick Drazen, who was a famous bodybuilder, and then got into pro wrestling, and I just said, Rick, I want to. Can I come manage you sometime or something? I'm probably not going to be able to wrestle very well at this age and everything else, even though he was way older and he was still doing it. But it's a young man's game. You got to train early. And if you can get trained early enough, and I'm not talking like at 30 years old, I'm talking in your early 20s, and you learn how the game, then you might have a shot at it. It's like anything else. You got to give 110% on it and realize that, there's guys that have been doing this for 20, 30 years that are still wrestling. So there's very few spots available. And you just hope that like AEW and the WWE and New Japan and all these places still keep going forever. Because when we were doing it, we had WCW as well, and there was a lot of wrestling opportunities. So there was a lot of spots that guys could get. Now it's few and far in between, and a lot of our friends are wrestling at AEW.
Yep.
Which is great. I tried to get a job. I said they only got one guy doing interviews, that Marvez guy, and I said, shoot, I should be doing some interviews in there and adding a little flavor to it. So, hopefully one of these days, I don't want to take bumps anymore because I'm just too fat and too old to do that.
Aren't we all?
Oh yeah, me too, bro. But yeah, no, I got started about the same age as you. I mean, just before I turned 30 was
Yeah,
when
I
I came
remember.
into UPW, and in fact, for my 30th birthday, we were at a show in San Diego, and Samoa Joe gave me chops in the middle of the ring for my 30th birthday. And it was supposed to be one chop per year, and I think I made it to
Wow.
5 before I said I'm done. I'm 5 years old.
I'm fine.
Please stop hitting me.
Count me as a leap year baby.
Yeah,
um,
he's a brutal chopper. We used to, when I had my radio show, Wrestling 101, and Joe was working on it as one of my co-hosts. We used to do a thing called Chop Trivia, and we'd have people call in, and they would answer questions. If they answered them right, then everything was cool. If they answered them wrong, then we would have someone in there, and they would get chopped. And we had like,
oh shit.
yeah. So we had the fish. I don't know if you remember Mercado, but we had
Yeah.
used to call him the fish market. We had Mercado in there, and he would take chops from Joe every time someone answered the wrong question on the phone when they called in.
Poor Ricardo.
Oh, picking on him.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh man.
Yeah, look at there's a guy that stuck it out, wrestled, did his thing, learned how to wrestle. In fact, I wrestled him. The only time I ever wrestled a match, I think I wrestled him in San Diego. That's some
Okay.
weird bar we were doing it at.
Yeah, I think that
And
was the bar I was at. Yeah.
I always have those friends that I grew up watching wrestling and all that good stuff. I mean, WrestleMania was like the thing at the house. I know Dave can contest to that.
Oh yeah.
But like I have a lot of friends that are like, oh, wrestling's fake. I'm like, no. Wrestling is not fake. Wrestling is scripted. It's different. I can have someone come over here and body slamming you. You tell me how fake it is.
Yeah. Tell me how fake this is. Yeah.
I don't care if it's a giveaway platform. It's gonna hurt. And when someone chops you, and to make that sound live to where everybody in the arena can hear it, they have to chop you hard.
Oh yeah, that hurt.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've been hit. I mean, going back to '92, I was chopped once by Greg the Hammer Valentine, and I think that was the hardest that I have ever been chopped.
Before.
And that was in '92, '93. I was training a little bit with a guy from AWA, and he ended up closing his school and just leaving on us. But yeah, I remember I actually got to wrestle Greg the Hammer Valentine. That was one of my favorite things.
Oh my god, that would have been
That's
phenomenal.
that's pretty cool. Yeah, wrestling was fun. It's just like I said, it's a young man's sport.
Yes.
You got to really stay in good shape. I mean, Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel's been around a long time, and I don't know how he keeps doing it, but he stays in good shape. A lot of these guys eat really well, they train really well because I mean, and because they have to go through serious injuries all the time. I mean, it's a tough business, but it helped me with my acting, which is how I try to make a living, and it really helped my acting because if you can go out there and make 1,000 people boo or cheer you,
So
what's a couple people in a room when you're auditioning for something? So that's the way I look at it, and it was
speak,
fun. It was fun for a while.
speaking of acting, you've been in quite a few different things, as Dave has pointed out to me. But the one that really stood out to, well, actually two that stood out to me, but the one that really stands out to me where I totally recognize you from the movie, no doubt about it, that is you, is the Crazies at the truck stop.
Yeah, I played it with him. Great. Yeah, that was a great movie. We
Dude,
filmed that in
I
Iowa and Atlanta,
love that
and
movie.
it was fun to do.
I was
Got to
like,
work with Timothy Oliphant. Yeah,
oh yeah. He pulled up your picture and I was like, that dude, I so remember you from the Crazy. You can only make someone look so dead to where you still don't recognize them. I'm like, yeah, that's so him. But I'm a huge fan, growing up in Stockton, California, of Sons of Anarchy. Huge fan of that show. Uh I hate saying this. I don't remember you in that show, damn it. Where are you at in that show? Because I know it has you listed on there, and Dave was talking about it,
first,
but I don't remember you in that show.
I play one episode,
Okay.
first season, third episode. I play some guy they think that they raped some girl at a
Oh my
carnival, and they come looking for me, and they realize it
god.
wasn't me; it was a clown.
I so remember that now. And now I can so totally see you. Oh, thank you for clearing that up for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I got to tell you, Schwag, it's great talking to you, and I know that uh, I mean, from our talks, because we're still in contact on Facebook, but I have a lot of movies, and I watch a lot of movies. Every time we see you on a movie or a TV show, my kids and I are always calling you out.
There it is.
Um, all the way back to Bicentennial Man with Robin Williams. We're like, hey, that's Big Schwag, and it's it's so awesome to see you on these shows because it's kind of like an I knew you
Yeah,
when,
that was my
and
first movie ever.
Wow,
yeah,
that's awesome. And to be with Robin
And let me tell
Williams,
you,
first movie ever. Wow.
I'll tell you a funny story real quick. So I booked that gig, and I'm like, oh God, this is going to be a huge movie. Robin Williams. I legitimately way back when. So I know my 25 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah, at least.
I mean, that movie cost like 85 million, so that was a super expensive movie.
Yep.
yeah,
We're filming in Frisco. I got to go out there. I mean, I only legitimately probably could have got all my stuff done in one day, but I was out there for 2 weeks. You get a per diem when you get out there. So the first week they give you a week's worth of per diem, which I don't know if it was 50 or 75 bucks a day, and they give you that all for the week, 7 days. And I was single back then, and I wasn't doing nothing. I didn't work the first week, and then the second week I worked maybe 2 days. But the first day I got my money, I went to some strip club out there and blew it all.
That sounds about right,
And
Briscoe.
then to make matters worse, it was called the Rolling 30, Rolling 6, I forget what it was,
I
Rolling
didn't even
50s.
go to the good one.
Nah. But then every day I would also I'd go down to Fisherman's Wharf, and there was this guy there who was pretty cool, and he had a charter boat, so I would just hang out with him on his boat. Yeah, come on out here. So I just go hang out on his boat while he would take these people out and go buy Alcatraz. But I didn't realize that I was calling from the hotel room, and I kept calling everybody back in LA. What a mistake that was. So when I leave,
$400
when I
bill.
You
leave,
get that
I
phone
get
bill.
like a $400 phone bill. I was like, oh my god.
There
So
goes that per diem.
that's back when we used to have pagers.
Oh my God. I
Yeah.
remember majors.
You know,
Yeah.
Oh.
God. Yeah, I remember those days. Whew.
Robin Williams was great. Robin Williams was one of the nicest guys, and I actually met him when I was probably in the 6th grade. I had a sleepover at this guy's house when we were, kids, and his dad was the producer of Mork and Mindy, and they came home one night at like 2 in the morning, and we were like, "Oh my God, it's Mork!"
Oh,
And he
God.
was he entertained us for about an hour, and I reminded him of that when we were on the set, and he was like, "That was back in my having fun days." And I'm like, "Yeah, you were having fun. I didn't realize it, but I could tell you were having some fun." Yeah,
If I knew then what I know now,
There was a lot.
yeah.
there was a lot of fun going on.
But what a nice guy! What a great guy!
Yeah,
What a
guy.
tremendous human being. And very sad that depression
Very.
took him. And
Yeah. His loss is very sad. So I wanted to bring up another picture, and this is from the Lost Leatherface autographs that you sent me. I got the Funko
yeah,
and the movie cover art. Tell us about the Lost Leatherface.
so 2002, I got cast to play Leatherface in the remake that came out in 2003 with Jessica Biel.
Oh,
And obviously, totally excited that I'm going to be Leatherface, which is
I
just
just
an
be
iconic
excited that I'm in a
character.
movie.
Heck yeah! Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it's just Gabil. She's one of my top 10. Sorry.
So I get out there where I told them beforehand that in this outfit I'm sweating in a air conditioned room when we were doing costume checks, but they said no, you'll be fine. I'm like, okay. So I was trying to get a cool suit that they put on underneath your outfit that keeps you warm. I mean, cool.
Yep.
So I think we're in July or August. We're in Texas. We're filming, like 40 minutes outside of Austin in this old house that's got black mold all over it. And I was like, man, I just started sweating, right? In the first big day of shooting, I'm sweating. I'm dragging this guy. I kill him with the sledgehammer. I'm dragging him. And then I collapsed because I had got heat stroke.
Oh, geez.
But when you get heat stroke, all the water's out of your muscles and a lot of water's out of your body. And I went outside, had about 7 or 8 Gatorades, and I said, I think I'm cool. I'm good. But when I tried to get up, my back seized up, and it was very tough to finish that scene because I still had to slam that door shut, and it took all the effort I could to do it. But 3 days later, they had a guy to replace me that we used to work for UPW, Andrew Benarski.
oh yeah,
And so Andrew was the guy that replaced me. I figured it would be him because we were the same height, and
Yeah.
even though he was massively buffer than I was back then, but he'd worked with those guys before, and he came in and did a tremendous job. But so I was Leatherface for a week.
Yeah, but
that's my claim to fame. But
you got the first
the
kill.
people
And that's
start
what
calling
matters.
me the Lost. Yeah. The people call me the Lost Leatherface because not many people knew that there was another guy. So
that is phenomenal.
that's where that comes
from. Yeah, I thought that was so cool when you started throwing that page out to me for the Lost Leatherface, and I was like, okay, what the hell is this all about? So I went in there and I started reading up on it, and I was like, oh shit, Schwag was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm so stoked. That's a killer role for you. And I was so sorry that you got sick and hurt on there and you couldn't finish. But if I understand correctly, there's a fan movie or something coming out. I saw some stuff that you sent to me on Facebook.
Yeah, I'll be doing I'm not playing Leatherface, thank goodness, but
yeah.
it's what we call a fan film, and there's a lot of people that do them. And these guys out of Tennessee are doing a fan film called The Grind, which is a Texas Chainsaw Massacre, style movie, and they're pretty cool guys. And in fact, he did that artwork for my new banner that I sent you. So I'll be doing a character in their movie, and I'm excited about that. And we still audition all the time out here in LA, and once in a while I'll get some horror movie people that want to put me in their stuff, and these guys were one of them. And so we're excited that we'll film The Grind probably later this year in August, I think.
I do have to say, I'm looking at the banner right now, and I love Monster Garage. there's a lot of things that I recognize you in, and that's probably number one right there is Monster Garage.
Yeah,
That's
well, I was the voice of that show for
yeah.
off and on for 20 years, and I hosted a couple when Jesse got hurt. But yeah, we just did 9 new episodes a year and a half ago, and those aired. So that was pretty cool coming back after like a 11-year hiatus, and we did 9 new episodes. But that was I was doing Monster Garage when I started working at UPW, so
that's
yeah,
it's been a long time. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember you talking about it, and you were talking about the commercials that you were doing and stuff. God, it was just I was amazed at how busy you were during that time when we were starting with UPW, and
And I wish I
at the
could be
same
still.
at the same time it was you had plenty of time for the show, and you had plenty of time to just sit and talk with my kids and
Oh yeah,
talk
well, of course.
talk with me, and we are talking with the fans, and it was just amazing working with you, bro, in that environment.
Well, thank you. I wish it would have continued, and but that's a tough business to be in. It's a tough. I got to do it for a while just because I was making money other places. You're really in the beginning of this business when you get into wrestling, you're not going to make any money. It's just very tough, and
Very true.
Unless you're just some 6 foot, 7 foot athlete that's just tremendously
the freak of nature,
gifted with the height and size and weight. It's very tough, and then you're going to have to pay your dues, and you're going to have to work at it a long time until something clicks. Now, some guys start wrestling when they're 16 years old, or at least go to school and learn. I mean, we had little Nate, who was 14 years old, who signed up, and I said, I got to speak to your mom because you're 14. I don't know, like we should be signing you up. And his mom came down and said, it's fine. And then, little Nate went on to wrestle all over the place and wrestle some big people. So
yeah, he did. I still talk to him on Facebook.
Yeah, anything is possible, but you just got to put your mind to it. And would I have liked to have gone and worked for the WWE or, WWF back then?
Yeah.
But it would have been great. But they just thought for a manager, I was too big because I was bigger than a lot of the wrestlers. So
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, Dave told me how big you were. All right. So with your wrestling career, I have 2 questions for you. First thing, how important is to have a wrestling background going into professional style wrestling? Dave's shaking his head.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It helps, obviously, because you're used to rolling around on the mat a lot. But otherwise, no, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, unless you're Kurt Angle and you won the Olympic, the Olympics and won the gold medal.
And that was his.
Or you're like a couple of these guys. Yeah, a couple of these guys who are coming in now for the WWE, Gable and these other guys who are very big college wrestlers, like Brock Lesnar was huge, undefeated in college.
Yeah.
And, we had a guy that we worked with, Sylvester Turkey, who the only match he lost his senior season in college, I think he went to Pittsburgh, is he lost to Kurt Angle, who obviously went on to win the Olympics. And I remember Kurt Angle was like, that guy was, when I had to wrestle him in college, he's like, I was always freaked out because he was such a big dude.
Wow.
He was so strong and he was so good. And Still trying to find that footage somewhere. Seeing Sylvester versus Kurt Angle would be amazing in college. But yeah, it doesn't. I don't think it means anything personally. I think it helps because you'll be able to work in the mat a little bit more, and you'll understand how to roll a little bit more. But otherwise, it doesn't mean anything. You got to get in there, and some guys will get trained now for a couple of months and think they know it all, and it takes, in my opinion, I mean, if you were training 3 or 4 days a week, you could do that 3 or 4 days a week, and you did it for. You would need a couple of years still to be really good at it, but guys sometimes get trained in 2 months or 3 months now, and they're wrestling. So
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
and that comes in with them being brick shit houses that are 6'8" or 6'9", and you tend to get on TV faster if you've got the size and the imposition of being just giant. I know that I had to work my ass off for just the few matches that I got, and ended up very happy as a referee. That's kind of where I ended up with UPW.
yeah. Oh, listen, it's a tough business, man. That's all I can tell you. I know a good friend of mine, Bo Cooper, out here. He's training a bunch of guys, and I went over a couple weeks ago and was talking to him about promos, and I said it doesn't matter. You could be the biggest guy in the world if you can't cut a promo. You better be really good at wrestling.
You better,
because
yeah. Oh
they're
no,
going to stick
totally.
you with a manager. They're going to stick you with somebody like me, and I want to get heat as well. I want to get what we call heat. I want to be popular. I want to stay in the business. I want to make money. So I'm going to do what I can to get you over, but I also want to get my own heat and get the people to boo me or cheer me. And I want to be a part of the deal. So I tell them, I said, you got to learn to cut promos really well. That besides being a tremendous wrestler, that's what made Ric Flair, right? Ric Flair is one of the best promo guys in the business. The Rock, one of the best promo guys in the business,
yeah.
which makes him a great actor as well. I mean,
Yes.
those guys that you watch that are good on the microphone in the ring that transition onto TV, there's a reason. John Cena could always cut a good promo.
Yeah.
He worked at it really hard, but he was always really good at it. The Rock was always really good at it. Stone Cold Steve Austin learned along the way, and then finally he hit what was
he found
he
his
figured
thing.
out who Stone Cold was, found it, and and the rest is history.
Yeah.
One of the best talkers in the business.
Do people still quote Stone Cold?
Sure.
To this day, all the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that's what happens. If you don't learn to talk, they stick you with somebody, a Paul Heyman or someone else, and
who can talk.
Then you got to carry that around. You got to do that. You got to do that for years. Now, maybe some people will be like, "It's great. Just let me wrestle and let this other guy talk," and that's wonderful.
All right. So my other question with your wrestling career, and this, I don't think this has to do with your career or anything like that, but as a fan of wrestling, who's your favorite wrestler?
Ooh, that's tough, man.
Yeah, man. Right. I know who mine is. I'm a Jimmy Fly.
I'm a Rick. Yeah. Okay. I'm a Ric Flair guy. I mean, I like Ric Flair. I used to like Snuka until I found out he killed his wife.
Yeah. That does put a damper on things.
The Road Warriors are, some of my favorite, and I got to be friends with Hawk and Animal a little bit from.
Yeah, they came into UPW. That was
God.
It was great meeting them.
So I took Hawk and Roddy Piper out for dinner one night in Hollywood after a show.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite dudes.
I know a guy that met Roddy Piper. He's a friend of mine that met him on the set of Alive. He was actually an extra in Alive. Or no, I'm sorry, not Alive. They Live. Sorry.
They Live. Yeah, you got to get that right.
Yeah, he's been drinking. Swag, it's okay.
Yeah, all day. But he met him on the set of They Live, and he's like, Roddy is the greatest person you'll ever meet in your whole life. And I was like, I always ask, how different, like in real life, is he from like the persona you see? He's like, no, that's not persona. That is Rowdy Piper. He is Rowdy Piper 24/7. And I was like, oh my God, that would
Yeah,
have
he
been
was.
so awesome.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he didn't talk much that night, but I became pretty good friends with Hawk and Joe Schmo used to produce my radio show called Wrestling 101 with Samoa Joe and some
Yeah.
other folks. Looney Lane used to be there, and
Jenny.
John Cena used to answer our phones actually. So, but
Wow.
Schmo and myself became really good friends with Hawk, and we'd rap with him. And very sad that he died. He was just moving. I think he was moving to a golf course where Greg the Hammer Valentine lived, and almost moved in. And then I think he went and took a nap and didn't wake up. So, but
Yeah.
I cherish stuff like that. I got to work with some really cool people. I got to take a pedigree from Triple H. I got to work, do Diamond Cutter with Diamond Dallas Page.
Wow.
Became good friends with, some of these guys from ECW, Amish Roadkill, and some of these guys. And Samoa Joe's still one of my favorite wrestlers. And you know who I like a lot, even though he hasn't wrestled yet. I haven't seen him wrestle, but I love Danhausen. And I love this guy
Okay.
Danhausen on AEW, who's very funny and dresses up very cool and curses people.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
haven't seen him wrestle either, but
great.
he's hilarious.
Yeah, but the old school guys are what I really like. I mean,
Yeah.
there's very few character wrestlers now. I mean, guys that wrestle now that I really. I mean, the Young Bucks are great. A lot of the guys. I love. What's her name? Zoe Stark.
Oh.
Who Tom Howard trained. Who
Yeah,
Tom
Tom
Howard
Howard trained.
dating, but we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about that, but yeah, Tom Howard trained.
She's great.
She's
She's
awesome. I like
tremendous,
her.
and yeah, she got hurt in her knee, but I think she's almost ready to come back to wrestling. And
Oh wow.
Yeah.
everybody was clamoring to sign her, and that's one of the hardest working. She was wrestling, practicing 4 or 5 days a week in Vegas where they were living, and
Oh wow.
to their credit, she got signed by the WWE, and Tom and her packed up the bags and I believe moved to Jacksonville. So I mean, that's what happens if you're going to be in that business. Not
Wow.
Jacksonville. Where the hell's where's the WWE? Where's their training center? Somewhere in Florida, I think. But
It's somewhere in Florida.
I think it's somewhere in Florida. But anyways, it's a tough business, right? You get signed, you got to go.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. You got to leave.
Yeah, if you get
I've
that
been trying to get a job on QVC network, right? I always see this that they are looking for hosts. And I'm like, I could sell shiznit, man, like no one's business. So for 6 or 7 years, I keep seeing the breakdown looking for a host, and it pays like $130,000 a year, but you got to move to, Pennsylvania.
yeah,
I'm like, for
I'll
$130,000, I'm there. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's do
and I
it.
will sell the shiznit.
Hell yeah.
I will sell the shiznit out of anything they got. So I just don't think they understand the big swag and what I do. So, but I'll keep sending it until one of these days they go, okay, yes, come on.
Fine, I will knuckle under. You've worn us down. We'll do
We're
it.
tired of seeing your resume. Get over here. And sometimes, man, that's what you got to do, man. You just got to keep hitting them sometimes, and that's when opportunities open up. I would so watch QVC probably for the first time ever.
First time ever. If Big Swag was on there selling shiznit on, I would.
Shiznit. Like, look at this gold, diamond, ruby replica.
You want this? You know you do. Buy it right now. God, yeah, I would love
There's
that.
not much I couldn't sell. I mean,
No.
there's not much. I mean, I bought stuff off there before, so I know.
I learned in sales, if you could sell yourself, you could sell anything else.
That's
And
100% right.
if you can
Yeah.
sell yourself, you can sell anything else. I learned that in sales. So
Yeah.
yeah, and you've proven you can sell yourself. So
Yeah. And I would hate to jump away from this, but I gotta get to the theme of our show, and
yeah, we are a
um,
paranormal show.
we are a paranormal show. So Brett, what we do here is, with spirits with spirits, is we drink alcohol and we talk about the paranormal. So
Yeah,
what I'd
I
like,
just figured someone was drinking something.
I am
we're
wa-
definitely drinking something. um, so I wanted to just get from you, what are your beliefs about the paranormal? What do you believe and what do you think is total bullshit?
Okay, so that's a tough question because when I was younger, I really um, it's a tough one. When I was younger, I really believed in a lot of the paranormal stuff, and then a couple of years ago, I tried to pitch a TV show where I was like, I'm going to go debunk every single thing of all these paranormal, all these ghost hunters, all these TV shows, which have been on for 15 years now. And I was like, I'm going to go back and debunk all this stuff and find out, look, if there's nothing here. It's just a creaky old building, and they're putting stuff in your mind. They're just trying to scare the viewer and everything else. But having that being said, I just was on a TV show to tell the truth, where you have to lie and you have to pretend that you're somebody. And my episode was an exorcist, so I had to pretend that I was an exorcist. Three of us, and one of the guys is the real exorcist. And he talked to me, while we were sitting in there. I was trying to get info from him, so in case I got asked some questions, I could be on my lying game. And you know, he's the real deal. He's done thousands and thousands of exorcisms, and it would be very tough for me to, call the guy a liar. So, yeah, I believe there's a paranormal activity and demons that walk this world and that screw with people, and hopefully they'll stay away from me. But I would think there's stuff out there. I mean, I did a haunt in gosh, what's it called? It's in West Virginia. It's called the Haunted Majestic, which is a World War II Red Cross boat, which obviously hundreds and hundreds of men died on
yeah.
and were operated on, and that seems to be a little bit haunted. So, yeah, it's stuff there.
So have you become more of a skeptic or more of a non-fan of these shows that are coming out that you feel that is just total bullshit with the shows and not necessarily against what you necessarily believe actually happens?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the TV shows. I think that's smoke and mirrors because I've been in the business. So,
Yeah.
but I do believe there is. I do believe there is. I do believe in spirits. I do believe in ghosts, and I do believe in that stuff as I've gotten older. I still would like to do a show and go debunk some of this stuff. And if it proved me wrong, I would be tickled pink because here's
I
the
love
deal:
the
if
theory
you
of
can,
that show. Dude, I would watch that show.
We'd be down. We'd
yeah,
be down to help you with that show. Totally.
I would go on location with you on that show and be like, let's go do this. Let's go debunk what they
so
all say.
yeah. So here's the deal, right? If either way, it's a good thing. So if somebody can prove to you that there are demons and there are evil spirits and stuff out there, then that also means it's a good thing because that means there's going to be God and angels and all that. And either way, if you can prove to me that there's angels and God is a real existence, then you also got to take in the fact that there's demons and there's spirits and other evil things that are around as well. So it's a good thing if they could prove me wrong and we find some spirits and some scary stuff. That would be great because then it would make everything I would believe a lot more of different stuff. So,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, I do believe there's spirits. I do believe there's entities out there, and I'm just not a big fan of these shows that blow smoke up your
That
keister.
try to
Totally understand that.
exploit that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I totally get that. Now, John and I have talked about this in the past, and we don't narrow down paranormal to just spirits and demons and things like that. So, what are your thoughts on like Bigfoot or UFOs or anything else that that at least they can't explain yet?
Well, I know 100% there's, you want to say UFO? Yes, of course we've had, you can look at some of the things that are in the world that you'll be like, there's no way someone built that 500, 1,000 years ago. And that wasn't humans that built that. So yes, I believe that we have, there's extraterrestrials out there. And of course our government won't tell us, but there's a reason there's secret bases all over the United States where they investigate stuff like that. Now, Bigfoot, nah. I would love for there to be a Bigfoot. I would love for there to be a Bigfoot. Believe me, I'd be tickled pink.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not the first person that said that. It's
I would love to be able to find something like that. I mean, I would love to. That would be the. It's just it's been so long. It's like, come on. It's like the Loch Ness monster. Come on.
Yeah.
Show me something. Show me proof. There's no way.
My
the
cousin,
only Bigfoot I know. Go ahead.
my cousin kind of says the same thing. Although he does believe in the Loch Ness monster more than he does believe in Bigfoot. And my theory is, he's like, how do we not see him? I was like, he's like, with all the satellite technology and all that good stuff, how do we not see him? I was like, how long did it take the U.S. government to actually say there's UFOs? How do we know the government has not seen them and just isn't releasing it? There's one thing for a UFO to be in the space. There's nothing for a Bigfoot to be in the forest where you're trying to go camping. But
true, but
I totally pick up what you're putting down. I understand the skepticism of Bigfoot, 100%.
But I want to be proven wrong, right? I want to be proven wrong. I want to be able to go, and I want to go to a scary place or a haunted place. We have, where I live, we have, which used to be the Camarillo State Hospital, which was a mental institution, where crazy folks would go. And actually, my mom worked there for about a year before I was born.
Oh, wow.
And now it's a college, but it's one of the most haunted places, they say, in the world because of 30 years of, a bunch of people that were there. They're either against their will or, voluntary, but that's supposed to be one of the most haunted places, and it's literally 5 minutes from me. I probably should go check it out.
That would be fun.
You should.
Start.
We might be down that way in August, and we join you on a ghost hunt.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, we're going to be in Orange County, hopefully, in August, and we're supposed to go to the Linda Vista Hospital, the abandoned hospital there in Orange County, and get a look at that place, along with Alcatraz, the Winchester Mystery House, the Queen Mary, if it's open by then. So yeah, we're gonna do a little summer tour to where we're gonna go and check out these spots. But I love the fact that you still have an open mind. You want to debunk the stuff, but at the same time, if you're proven wrong, you'll acknowledge it, and you'll be like, all right, I'm happy that I was proven wrong. There is a Bigfoot, or aha, you guys are full of shit, and there's no Bigfoot. So yeah,
the Yeti, the Bigfoot. I mean, all that stuff is it's cool. Look at all that stuff that we grew up with, and all these, urban legend stuff is great. Well, I wish it was every single one of it was true because, like I said, it would it would make life more interesting. That's for sure.
Well, interesting. The only reason I am a firm believer in Bigfoot, and like you said, the Yeti, you can kind of put those all in one there, is there's so much native culture about the Bigfoot out there that they don't just tell stories to tell stories. The native culture, they tell stories based on truths. So what if you were to break it down in these cultures and talking about Bigfoot and the Yeti and things like that, what would you break it down to more of bear sign, or just do you think they're just trying to scare the kids so they'll go to sleep at night?
Are you talking about like Indian elders that would be
Yeah,
telling these stories?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's some, they must have some truth, or it could be just a story being passed down. But, I mean, that stuff's, look, we're entrenched in that. It's a part of, the world, right? The Yetis and
Oh yeah.
supernatural stuff. And it's a part of definitely the United States, and in a lot of haunted places in Europe and whatnot. It's just, and are they just great stories that have been handed down over the years, or is there truth to it? So, when I could tell a lie when I was 16 years old, and if everybody keeps spreading that lie, it may get bigger and bigger and bigger by the time I'm 50 years old, or that story may just be like, wow. I mean, I've said some dumb stuff when I was young, and later on, it's come back to haunt me when someone goes, "Didn't you do it?" I'm like, "Oh man, I don't remember if I said I did that or not." I'll be like, "Yeah, if I said it, I must have done it." So, but yeah, listen, I love it. I love I have a bunch of friends that do similar podcasts and whatnot, and it's cool. It's fun. It's exciting. I'm a big horror movie guy. I love anything, movies, TV shows, books about the supernatural. I read them. I fantasize about stuff like that. Not in a sexual way, but I fantasize that it would be real and it would be great. And I believe when my father passed away, I believe that night that he was talking to me in my dreams and was there and was having a conversation with me. So, anything is possible.
Okay, so well, that just answered my next question: is if you ever had a paranormal experience in yourself, and that kind of
I
hit the
believe,
nail
yeah.
on the
So
head.
my father passed away, and I totally. In fact, we had a UPW show that weekend, and I still went and did the show, but I went to sleep that night, and vivid as day. And I don't dream a lot, right? And it's definitely not about my dad having a conversation with me. So, um, it was, it was very cool. It was like, what do you call it?
Surreal.
No, just I'm trying to think of the word right now. It was closure,
Oh yeah, yeah,
It
yeah.
was and it was like, hey, don't worry about it, and you'll do fine, and I'm proud of you, and all that other stuff. And I was like, wow, this is pretty real. So that was a good thing. So, like I said, I would love to be proved wrong, because then once you believe in something, it's great. It doesn't matter what it is, if you can go. I love this. I love the horror science fiction genre. I love all that stuff. That's why I became an actor, because I was so into horror movies and the Twilight Zone. Now, if you give me a new passion and show me something is real with all that, who knows what doors that would open for me? I may become the big swag, spiritual advisor, spiritual hunter.
Big swag, psychic medium.
I would
You
watch
know,
that show. I'm just saying.
I would absolutely be in. Um,
Schwag the debunker.
that's right. Listen, where the Long Island medium took off, it's now SoCal swag.
So
show
gross.
swag.
That is awesome.
Just don't wear the wig. We don't. When,
Yeah, no, yeah.
no wig. That's like, somebody shot it and put it on her head.
That's good.
so, so, so if you okay, and you started talking about how you like the horror sci-fi genre, and I gotta ask because I'm a huge movie buff. What would be, and it's hard to pick your favorite movies, but if you had to pick one movie right now that you would grab and watch, what would it be?
I mean, we're just like talking one of my favorite horror movies or
One of
something.
your favorite horror movies or sci-fi or
I'll give you,
whatever.
okay, I'll give you three movies that I watch every year all
Okay.
the time. So one is Dawn of the Dead, 1978. That's my
Oh,
favorite horror movie of all time.
yeah,
Nice.
So not the remake. The remake was fine,
yeah,
but the
Right.
the
1978.
original.
That's you can even watch Night of the Living Dead, 1967, and it's still a scary movie. Romero was amazing guy for his time and what he did. I watch One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest
Oh,
every year, a couple times. It's
Jack
just
Nicholson.
tremendous,
Oh,
Great.
Jack Nicholson,
Yeah.
Paul Newman.
Great
Uh,
movie.
I'll give you a pass for that because I know you're drinking.
Did
no,
you say
I
something
watched.
else, John?
Wonderful Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Jack Nicholson was in that movie.
Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I said the wrong thing, and you are correct. Cool Hand Luke.
Cool Hand Luke. Okay, yes, Paul Newman.
That's Paul Newman.
That's Paul Newman.
There we go.
Boy, I sounded like a moron. I'm correcting you, and I'm the one that's wrong. Yeah, that's what I will watch.
Still great. Two
Outlaw
great.
Josie Wales.
Outlaw
Oh,
Joe
nice.
Wells. Oh wow.
I can watch that 2 or 3 times a year, and then I can also watch a movie like Marathon Man, or I'll watch
Oh, Dustin Hoffman. Nice.
On the Waterfront. Marlon Brando and all the other actors on the waterfront were just
Yeah.
amazing. So I watch that stuff, and I don't think they make movies like they used to, the '60s and the '70s, and even into the '80s. They just don't make movies like that anymore. They don't make big movies that are just from start to finish are just perfect. You know, Quentin Tarantino on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was pretty close. It was really good.
That was a
The
good
whole
movie.
That was
friggin'
good.
movie.
I like
And
that movie.
and we're really good friends with Brad Pitt's co-star there, that dog, Brandy the pit bull. So we're good friends with their owners. That's a Delaware red pit bull. My buddy, the Kozlowskis out there in Delaware, they raise them. And that dog, Quentin Tarantino saw a picture of the dog and said, "That's the dog I want for our movie." So they got very lucky, and that dog was great as Brad Pitt's dog in the movie. So, but there's very few blockbuster movies anymore that really, I think, shine like some of these movies in the '70s. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. We just watched it again because my wife went and got Nurse Ratchet's autograph. Um, and it, Academy Award winner, man. I mean, that's just one of the great movies. All the actors. You see all these movies, and you see the actors. Everybody in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I mean, they're all A-list actors now, or
They are,
have been. I mean, it's
have
just
been, yeah. That is a
yeah. I
phenomenal
mean, just
movie.
crazy.
That is
You
phenomenal.
got
It's one of
Danny
my.
DeVito. Danny DeVito's in there. I mean, you got what's his name? Doc. One golly, Christopher Lloyd. You got all these people in that
Yeah.
movie. You got Chucky, Brad Dorff's in there.
Dorks. Yep.
The voice of Chucky. I mean, it's just they just don't make movies like that anymore. But yeah, I mean, that's what got me started in acting was the horror movies. In Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Halloween, Phantasm, one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
Nice.
And I got to work with the director, Don Coscarelli, which was I was like, oh my God, I'm doing a movie
Dream come
It's
true.
called John Dies at the End with and it's directed by Don Coscarelli. And I said, I hate to tell you this, man, but I got into acting because of you and your movies. And he was like, oh, it's great, it's cool, and very nice guy. So
Wow. Wow.
say something.
One Flew Over Cuckoo's Nest is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. Honestly, I mean, that was the start of me being a Jack Nicholson fan. I mean, that was the epitome for me of how I looked at Jack Nicholson all throughout his career. And it's one of the few movies that I'm not a book reader. I am not I can avidly say I don't read a lot of books. But that is one of the few books that I actually read and then watched the movie because we had to read it, and then the teacher actually showed that movie in class after we all got done reading the book. And it's one of the few books that I've read and I watched the movie and went, "Oh, the movie did so much better." that 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 is such a great movie, and you're right that casting
Yeah,
wise, you
yeah.
can't beat, especially that genre and that time frame. Casting wise, that's like watching the Expendables now. There's so many A-list stars listed in that movie that became A-list stars in that movie.
All right, listen, I like the Expendables, but let's not push it.
No, I'm just saying.
Let's not. No, I got you. Look at my buddy, good friend of mine, really good friend of mine, Randy Couture, has been in a bunch of the Expendables. So
Love
I mean, you know, I love it. Look it, but you know, even back, look at now we're talking movies. I know, but we're even back when I was a kid, all the Disney stuff, the Disney movies, you know, was what was it, Swiss Family Robinson, all that stuff was huge.
Oh, dude.
And you can still watch it today, and I'll watch some old Disney movie, and I'll be like, wow.
I still have the
You know,
originals on VHS.
Yeah.
Evidently, I
Yeah.
need to
You're
sell them on
sitting on a
eBay.
gold
From
mine.
what I'm saying, from what I know, I need to sell them on eBay. That's what everybody keeps telling me.
Yeah. I've got all mine stored.
But that's like watching old wrestling tapes too, right? Like I used to have. That's why all that, you know, that's why Vince McMahon bought WCW, right? You have 25 or 30 years of wrestling footage,
Money.
you know, of all this old footage of guys, and it's just a who's who of who became famous and popular. And
Good old Sid
you
Vicious.
can't. That's why, you know, Ted Turner, Turner Home Classics, all those movies. That's why he does something like that. Did a channel like that, because all that stuff is, you know, it's amazing. It's amazing, and like I said, much better work than anything that has been done today. My opinion, of course.
I can't
I can't argue with that.
I can't.
I'm not going to, because you're way bigger than I am.
Yeah.
And he knows it too. He's like, you're just a little guy.
You're smaller than
I will
Rey
give you.
Mysterio.
I will give you. I will give you one movie I think you should see. It's called The Platform. It's on Netflix.
The Platform.
I believe it's. I'm trying to remember what language it's in. I believe it's in Spanish. It was filmed in Spain, I think. I'm just trying to remember because it's got subtitles. But that's one of the better movies I've watched in the last 10, 15 years. So if you watch The Platform on Netflix, then you can thank me later.
Look at that, Brett Wagner giving me homework. I'm gonna watch that tonight. Yeah. What is that? What genre is that?
Well, I would say it's horror, but it's you're just gonna have to watch it, man. And don't eat a big meal before you do.
Oh.
Yeah, this looks like you want to be on an empty stomach when you watch it. I'm kind of jazzed to watch it. It looks pretty good.
I might have to check that
It
out.
is an excellent movie. It is totally something different than you've ever seen before. Now, actually, and I want to say it had to be because of this movie. There's a new cooking game show that is very similar.
Oh,
that's all I'm going to tell you.
Okay, I know what movie that is. I have yet to watch that. I think it's on my list. I know what movie that is. Yes, okay, yeah, I know it. I gotta watch that movie. I've been wanting to watch that for a little bit now. I just haven't had the time to do it. Now I'm going to have the time to do it. So yeah, that's definitely on my list. I actually put it in my watch list so I can watch it a little bit later. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, we got
now
to watch it before our next lowdown episode.
now that you said about
Yeah,
about the new cooking show with Mr.
yeah,
Gordon Ramsay, yeah, I
that is it,
totally
right?
yeah.
It's Gordon Ramsay. There's different levels of the cooking and food. So
Yes.
Yeah,
This
you
is
will understand once you understand that and you watch this movie, you'll go, whoa. You're gonna go.
ripped it off.
They totally
they totally took that and made a
idea.
cooking game show out of it.
They did. They did. Based off, you can watch the trailer and realize that they did that. That
Yeah. So, but another quick movie that I watched is called Rent-A-Pal, which is
I have seen
I
that.
really liked it. A little bit of okay, I like that movie, and then that's there is an English not is it English? There's an English movie called The Children, which came out a few years ago. That if you can find that, that's a very very trippy movie, especially if you have kids.
Is that that's the one that's like the
My friend-
crazies only with kids? Yeah,
yeah,
that's
kind of. Yes, that's, yeah,
yeah. Ghost House Underground
yeah,
did that. I've actually got that on DVD. And
oh
yes,
yeah.
I locked my kid's bedroom door after
yeah.
after watching that movie because I'm like that could actually happen to me.
It
But
could
yeah, no,
happen.
I really like that.
That's my deal. That's my those are my stories. That's what I'm sticking to. And so, like I said, if you guys ever do something close to me and want to go do something where there's something supposed to be haunted or whatnot, let's go. Just call me up and I'll get on the Harley and I'll come meet you and we'll go do it.
Oh,
Oh,
dude.
that's badass. I really appreciate that, Brett. Okay, well we're coming up to our hour with you. Is there anything else you want to add? Do you want to plug anything? Anything coming up in the future?
Sure. Well, I got a movie called El Tonto
El
with
Tonto.
John Malkovich, Ray Liotta, Kate Beckinsale. Um, what's his name? Charlie Wright, not Charlie Day, who directed it and produced it, and I play Malkovich's limo driver and bodyguard. So hopefully that'll come out this year.
Oh.
We filmed it 2 years ago. I'm just hoping that they finally release it this year, and that'll be big. And then come see me at I tell you where I'll be. I'll be at the Frank and Son collectible show in June for it's called Spooky Expo. So I will be signing autographs for for horror stuff. So it'll be my crazies, and I'll probably be in a full Leatherface outfit.
Oh wow. That's awesome.
So hopefully, let me get the dates on here just so I actually have it down. So I'm not like some idiot. Spooky Expo. Okay, Spooky's booth. Oh, there it is. June 18th and 19th. So that'll be the first time when I'm signing. So if you're around, Frank and Son Collectible Show. They used to do wrestling there all the time.
Oh,
That was
wow.
how big they had wrestling there every weekend. So that's in the City of Industry, June 18th, 19th. Come see me. Lost Leatherface, be signing autographs.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, Brett, I have enjoyed the stories. I've enjoyed the input, and
Thank you.
now I have shows I have to go watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to El Tonto to watch when that comes out. And
Thank you, man. I will definitely let you know.
yeah, and then when we come down in August, don't be surprised when Dave sends you that
Uh,
message like,
I
"Hey,
think I'm gonna be pinging you, bro, and we're gonna take a look at some place.
do you want to drive to San Francisco with us too?" Over the truck. I'll even pay for the hotel room, man. But I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you coming on the show. Of course, man. One, man, you bring back so many memories of me with wrestling. Uh, man, I used to love before they turned into the WWE. I was a huge WWF fan and WCW. Sid Vicious, man, that's my guy in WCW. But or actually, he was Mr. Mean in WCW. But I really appreciate everything that you came and talking with us and man, you gave me homework. I love it when people give me homework. I'm just gonna say that. But yeah, don't be surprised if you get if you get that request. Hey man, we're in Linda Vesta. Do you want to come check it out with us and help us debunk this stuff or run for our lives? So
Yeah.
it'd be nice to have a big guy
Yeah,
with
no,
us
we're good, man.
because me and Dan were both small. SM
Yeah.
all
We're
small.
You're
we're,
lucky.
we're yeah. He knows I'm little, but
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
bigger than Dave, so
Well, you're lucky. You guys are lucky. If there is something bad, I can't run, so it's just like you'll be fine. You guys run.
oh, I know I'm gonna be faster than at least somebody. So
I'm not gonna outrun the monster. I just have to outrun you.
All right,
It's like,
Dave. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on. Hopefully, it wasn't boring, and
oh,
I
never.
want to
no,
see what you think of the platform.
it was great, Brett. Thank you much. Love you, bro.
All
Have a
right,
great
brother.
night,
I
Brett.
appreciate it.
Have a great night, Brett.
Thanks, bud.
Bye. Oh, awesome, awesome, awesome. Good guy,
I
man.
told you he was a cool
God,
guy. I
he's a
I
good guy.
yeah, he's a cool guy.
Oh, oh my God. Hold on. Someone's asking me why we're not on Facebook.
Right? I don't know what the heck's going on. It's there, but it's not showing.
I wonder if it's because I changed everything.
Like I was wondering because we had to delete it and then redo it with the new time.
I'm thinking that's probably what happened, but
But it should have worked just fine. I don't know.
I don't even care. We don't do this to be on Facebook and be famous. So as much as
No.
I love to have people on Facebook and get a hold of us and everything like that,
Now
and
if they want to, they can jump on YouTube.
jump
It's
on YouTube.
there. Jump
Yeah,
on YouTube. Get on there.
jump on the YouTube page,
Send them
subscribe.
the YouTube link. Yeah,
You
subscribe to us on YouTube because I think we
subscribe.
only have 8 subscribers on YouTube. Let's go.
I think yeah, man. Hit the subscribe button. I
Yeah,
know you
hit the
guys like
subscribe button. Get
us.
us.
Go to
Even if you
YouTube.
watch us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah.
Show your love. God damn it.
Show the love.
Show
Show
the
the love.
love.
But I do have to say, Brett Wagner is a fucking awesome dude. I wasn't sure. Sometimes you get some people. Yeah, man, awesome dude. Man,
Yeah, he's a
I
good
was
guy.
dude. You were so hitting them up when I come out there and be like, "Let's go, dude."
Oh, I'm totally hitting him up. If we go down to Southern California at all, if the Queen Mary's open and Linda Vista and we can hit both places with him, I'm down.
So down.
I get
So
him in and I'll put a camera on him and have him walk around by himself.
like, go for it. There's a demon in
There,
that
there's
room
a
over
there's a
there.
demon in that room right there.
You go.
You're gonna get some good activity. So let's see if you're a believer or a skeptic
Good
after this.
over there.
Yeah. So let's get you on the Queen Mary and have you go down
Oh
below.
God. Hey, Brett, you want to come stay in room 325 with us in the Queen Mary?
It's a single king, but you can have it.
I'll sleep on the
I'll
floor.
sleep I'll sleep in the tub. That's fine.
Uh, no, I'm serious. I will pay for his hotel room if he wants to come up to San Francisco with us to hit those spots too.
If he wants to travel with us and do oh shit, I'm totally down for that. You want
Yeah,
to come to the Winchester house with us? But I
Winchester.
know for sure he'll just hop on his Harley and he'll go to Long Beach. He'll meet us at the Queen Mary.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And we'll get him on. God, that'd be so fun
Like
to
hop
have to.
in the truck,
I,
throw your shit in the bag. We're gonna go hit Winchester and fucking Alcatraz, and some couple spots in Stockton. I'll pay for your room. I don't care.
Yeah, we'll tow your bike. You can bike back,
Yeah, dude,
but
I got the whole tow package on my fucking shit.
yeah, we'll
Yeah.
just
When you're
or
here
you
to
can
tow,
ride with us on your bike, and we'll go up, and we're
oh
gonna
hell,
stop at places on the way, and you can travel with us, do the whole shebang, the
oh,
whole
dude,
summer tour.
I would so have him with us because
He is
there's not
hilarious. I
there's
mean, it's
nothing like having someone that is going in full heartedly to debunk something, while we're going in there to prove something.
we're going in there because we know we feel the shit is real, so we're
Yeah,
going there to find it. He's going there to cancel it. He wants to debunk it. I would love it if he's like, no,
dude, I'm telling
you know,
you, Discovery
that's
Channel.
that's
Yeah,
bullshit. That's the
you
pipes.
figured
That's this and
it out,
that. Okay,
right?
prove me wrong. But I would be tickled pink for him to prove me wrong just as much as he would be tickled pink for us to prove him wrong.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
and
Introduce
I'd be so down for that. And he said, he's got an open mind about it. He's not like, I don't
just
care. It's total bullshit.
just to have the conversations when we're going through evidence.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Or
What do you
dude,
think of that? No, that's no.
that's someone telling me go fuck yourself. No, no, that's just a fucking that's just the house creaking. I I can see it happening. You know what I mean?
And then it's just like we're going to one of those things like that just said my name. Yeah, it just said Brett, dude.
Yeah,
It
that's
just
Brett.
said, that just said my name. Yep, that said your
What?
name, bro.
Hey, what did we ask him before that? Who's the skeptic in the group?
Yeah, or
Brett.
who's the guy you're most threatened by, Brett.
Brett. Yeah, I don't blame you. That dude's like big. We are small.
I'm
SMR.
sorry, it lists him at 6'4", and I could swear he was bigger than that, but I think anything over 6 foot, and I'm like, dude, you're a giant.
Dude, when he
Um,
told me what episode he was in SOA, I totally saw him in SOA. I'm like, I know exactly who you were. I knew exactly who he was when he told me the episodes. Like episode 1, like season 1, episode 3. I was like, I know exactly who you are now. I know exactly who you were. And he is so the voice of fucking Monster Garage. Like I was like, oh my god, this is it's a dream come true. Oh, although he did get to work with Jessica Biel, that
Jessica
might be a
Biel.
little bit more of a dream come true.
I'm a
But
little jelly of that.
a little jelly of him working on the set with Jessica Biel. But I restrained myself from asking him. You worked on the set with Jessica Biel? What? Yeah, she's on that list of of celebrities you're allowed to.
Oh yeah, she's your hall pass.
She's my hall pass. She is definitely my hall pass. Jessica. Everybody's like, who's the hottest Jessica? Biel. Biel. That's the hottest Jessica. Biel. Why? No, there's no why. It's just Biel.
There's no why. It's just Beal.
It's just Biel. But man, what a great guy. I now I'm really gonna have to watch the platform. Um, I don't think it's Spanish though. I think it is a Chinese Korean movie. I think it's a Korean movie, not Spanish, but I'll have to look at that. What was the other one? The Children.
The Children I have. I absolutely love that movie.
I have to watch that one now too.
That's a creepy ass movie. So
What is
yeah,
it?
it's
Rent a Pal?
Rent a Pal.
Rent a Pal. Rent a Pal. Pal.
Yeah,
I wrote E instead of L. Rent a Pal. I'm gonna
and
check.
I have seen that. I don't have it, but I have seen it.
I'm gonna check that one out too. I haven't seen
It
the
no, looks Spanish to me.
dude, the platform when he said it got ripped off by a cooking show. I know exactly which one he was talking about. And I was
Yep.
like, I so know what you're
Yeah,
talking
country of origin is Spain,
about. Is
so
it Spain?
it
Is it
is
Spain?
Spanish, but
Okay.
it's not Mexican. It's Spanish. It's actual
Spanish.
Span.
Yeah, Spain. Okay. Maybe that's what threw me off, is because it had a European thing, not a Mexico theme to it. So I'll have to take a look at that and finally watch it. I honestly think the only reason I haven't watched it is because it's dubbed on Netflix.
Yeah,
And I wanna if it's in Spanish, I wanna read, I'll read subtitles, I don't have a problem, as long as
yeah.
it's not late night.
Like I said, I don't mind watching it dubbed first so I understand what's going on, but then I'd rather watch it subtitled so that I can get a feel for the actors.
Yeah. No, I'm the opposite. I wanna get the feeling first of what's going on, and then I wanna know what's going on. How does this translate? Yeah. Oh, man, what a great guy, dude. I love that. I
Yeah,
love the fact that it was hard for him to pick his favorite wrestler. And I love he kinda went a little old school. I love the fact that he went, you know,
yeah.
Road Warriors on us and Hawk and uh,
I didn't want to chime in on that because I have my favorites, but I wanted him to answer the question.
well, I threw mine out there. I know, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a bad person. He killed his wife, but as a wrestler, I was a huge
I
Jimmy the Superfly Snuka fan.
yeah.
As a
No,
kid, that was my
I actually worked with him at a show. Um, and I mean he like 55, 60 years old, so he's
oh,
like
yeah.
really old, but he still does that splash off the top rope, and
Oh, dude.
it was still fun to talk to him.
The off the top rope with the headbutt.
Um, and it was funny because at that show, do you remember the wrestler Grandmaster Sexy Brian Christopher?
Yeah, yeah.
I almost got in a fight with him,
Oh, like, real fight?
like I almost knocked his ass out because I was the director of the show, and I says, okay, here's what's gonna happen, and I was like basically coaching him on what was going on. We're gonna introduce you, have you come in, do your match. After the show, we're gonna have the power bomb dancers come out, dance with you, la 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 la, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he goes, no, let me tell you what's gonna happen, and he proceeded to tell me what he was going to do, and I says, I'm sorry, does it say director over your head? No, I'm paying you $1,500 to do this show. You will dance, monkey. You will do as I say.
You have stepped out your,
You have stepped out your
yeah,
comfort zone. You are in
you are
my
not
world.
in your lane.
This is my house.
Your
So
lane, go get your ass kicked and dance with hot
and,
chicks. Um,
and it's so funny because we're like at odds, and the owner of the company walks up and goes, what seems to be the problem here? And um, the grandmaster actually turns to him and says something. He's like, "Yeah, we have a disagreement," and blah blah blah, and he literally looks at Brian Christopher, looks at me, and says, "You better do what Dave says," and he walks off.
or you're voiding your contract. You get no money.
You really need to listen to Dave right now.
Oh, that's
um,
awesome.
so then all of a sudden he was nice because I had Eric at the show, my oldest.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, "Oh," he goes, "I'll go and grab your son from the stands and I'll bring him in and have him dance with me and stuff." And I said, "Okay, that's cool."
Also, it is really nice.
Then he was real nice to me because, and it was funny. A couple of the wrestlers came up. It's like, dude, were you just about to kick Brian Christopher's ass? I said, yeah, I was going to punch him in the throat.
we weren't about to do no wrestling shit. I tell you that much.
No, that would have been stiff as hell. I'd have fucking clocked him, and it was like, oh, Brian Christopher's not going to appear tonight because he's in the hospital. It was really funny. But Jimmy Snuka, I met Jimmy Snuka that same night, and he's like, shook hands with me, how you doing, gave me a hug after the show, really cool guy. But yeah, Brian Christopher's like way too big for his britches, and I'm like, dude, I will knock you on your ass right now.
I have a story to explain it all.
Yeah. Let me talk to you about a little something called but there's
Oh,
there's
awesome.
another thing I thought, I thought that the Miz and I were gonna go at it once too.
Really, The Miz.
Yeah.
I was shocked he got his own show.
Well, he started out as a reality star. He started out as a reality star before he went into wrestling. and we got him early with UPW. And again, he was really too big for his britches. He got on the show and he started throwing his weight around. And I was
Yeah,
the
they put
director, and I'm
you
like,
reality
dude, I
stars,
said, I'm
man.
sorry, you're gonna have to do as I say because I've already got this planned, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be, we're not messing around. And we get at odds, and then finally he like stops for a second, and it was like he was method. He was in character the whole time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was the Miz
You
talking to
would
me. And I'm
always.
like, I don't give a fuck who you are right now. I'm gonna kick your ass. And he was like, okay, wait, this is me. And then he introduced himself. I'm Mike. Sorry, totally. I'm still in character. And he was like, he was totally playing the Miz, John with me as I was trying to explain to him how to do the show. And I'm like, no, I am not out on stage. When I leave that curtain, then I'm the family man. But when I'm back here, I'm the
totally,
fucking director.
totally different.
And
Totally
totally
different.
different. You will fucking listen to me. And he's like, no, totally cool. Sorry, just wanted it. And I'm like, you don't. I said, dude, you don't get out of your car playing in character. That is not right.
You can play your character till you hit those doors where there's nobody watching.
Yeah. As soon as you hit that curtain and you're backstage, you are Mike.
Right.
You don't fuck around. Don't start. I was like, oh, he gave me such heat, and I was just like, dude. I said, if you want to give me heat, I will fucking. I
I'm
am I am not gonna play with you, dude. I don't
not,
care how much money we paid you. I'm sorry,
I'm not pulling a punch.
I will not pull a punch. I will sock you in your biscuit.
When they hear that smack, that's not gonna be me smacking my chest.
No. I am not gonna be like this bit. No. I'm gonna hurt you real bad, really fast. Um
Oh, that's awesome.
but those are the only two times that I really didn't get along with someone backstage, and the Miz really you know, kind of went, oh, whoa, okay, this guy's getting really mad. I'm gonna
Wait a
pull out. Hold
minute.
on, sorry. And he was like telling me, he's like, I totally method. I get into my role backstage and everything too. And I'm like, all right, you got to tell me this shit
There's
before.
no cameras back here.
There's no cameras back here.
I am
Nobody
insane.
sees what you're doing. And if I'm trying to explain to you how we do the show, and I'm directing, and you're just gonna sit there and argue with me every chance you get, I no, I'm just gonna hit you. Um, but
Oh, I love it.
I mean, there were guys that I didn't like, but never really had any major confrontations backstage. But gosh, big swear. I mean, Brett was just he was such an awesome person with UPW, and I got to talk to him quite a bit when we were there because we do what was called a light show, and it was basically we do a show Friday night, and
Yeah.
it was to practice for the main show we would do over the weekend. And it was
Okay.
like it'd be like a practice show, work the matches, do some
Yeah.
moves, see what goes over, what doesn't, work some, practice some promos, things like that. And we generally had a crowd of about anywhere from 25 to 50 people.
Okay.
Um, and we were always at LA Boxing or at Gold's Gym or something like that. And we do these little shows. And after the show was over, because I would come in and I'd either wrestle or referee or both, and then after the show, Big Schwag and I would sit on the apron and we'd talk to the crowd.
Yeah.
And that was my favorite part about the show is he would say, David, come up and sit with me, and I'd come and sit with him, and we'd talk. I'd talk about the referee parts and the backstage, the
Oh,
production
yeah.
stuff, and then he would talk about the wrestling and the managing and things like that. And we were able to cover all the aspects of pro wrestling, and we would answer questions to the crowd. They would be like, "Oh,
That,
so
that's
you know,
phenomenal.
it was so much fun," and we would do that every single week.
That that
Every
that constitutes a picture with you, him, and John Cena, and Eric on your shoulders. No, David on your shoulders.
David on my shoulders.
Yeah. It. That.
Yeah,
I still remember when you're like, dude, I'm wrestling. I was like, what? No, you did
I did
it.
it. I did it. I mean, yeah, I got backstage at a Raw show and a SmackDown show, and I was on a couple of dark matches where the ones before TV goes live to kind of hype the crowd up. As a
Yeah.
referee, I never wrestled dark matches, but I refereed a couple of dark matches, and I'm on a couple of videotapes that are kind of circulating out there somewhere, VHS stuff.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite thing was I had an angle working with John Cena before he left.
You struggle to lose weight,
What the
you must
fuck?
see this.
Hold on.
A fat dissolving
Oh.
loophole has just been leaked that can dissolve 59 pounds of fat in just a matter of
For
weeks.
some reason, my phone just
What are you getting at, bro? Are you trying to tell me
I'm going to lose weight.
round is a shape?
I do not know why my fucking phone went to YouTube. I don't even know what video it was trying to play. But it went to YouTube.
Lose 59 pounds of body fat, Dave.
I only want to lose 10. Evidently, it was all Brandy's fault.
I guess it was Brandy's fault.
I didn't mean to cut you off with the fat loss there.
I don't know about that, bro. I'm starting to think you're trying to send me messages.
But I really do have to pee.
I have to pee too. My eyes are yellow, my back teeth are floating, so it's
So
even my phone said help.
let's take a break. We'll be right back after probably a long bathroom break.
After a not so quick potty break.
Hang with us. We'll be right back.
Priest. Hi. Way. You hear. Dig. Your name. Box. Happened to me. What happened to me? Brought you here. King. Happy.
Welcome back. Dave decided to join us.
I did. I was back earlier, and I'm like, well, John's not back. I'm gonna eat. So,
I had to move my truck.
are you sure you should be moving your truck? Because you have
I
been drinking all
should
day.
not be moving my truck, but I'm good enough to go backwards and forwards.
In a straight line, I don't have to turn.
I can go back and go forward. That's it. And if a cop would have showed up, I'm like, I'm going back and I'm going forward.
I'm going for it. I am only in my driveway. I'm not going down the street. And I'm out of beer, so I got to go to the fridge.
Oh shit! What? Oh, the fridge. He doesn't have to get out of his seat. I gotta get one of those.
I don't. I got 5 more in the fridge. I'm ready to go. I had
Oh,
two big ass ones, and now I'm on the little ones.
dude, what a great interview with Brett. I
That's
enjoyed it. I know it wasn't like super paranormal for people
Super
that
Paranormal. I was like, I had to try to get something paranormal in at the end.
yeah, and I was gonna ask that. I was like, well, we are a paranormal show. What I was gonna ask the question that you asked, but
Mhm.
there's just so much to him. You just don't want to stop. Just keep
I love his stories, and um yeah, he's such a great dude to talk to.
and he
Blessed.
and he was. I have a feeling like when I come out in August, and I'm still hoping that happens. Things are changing, but I'm still hoping that happens. Yeah, very highly, it still does happen. Because I have money saved for me coming out there. I don't care if I lose a week of wages, I can still go. uh, but that would be so awesome for him to join us. Dude, what a third. Who's your third?
Yeah,
Brett
Wagner,
Wagner.
the Lost Leatherface.
Lost Leatherface. He might get us into places we're not supposed to go. We got Brett Wagner with us, right?
Yeah, he's moderately famous.
Moderately famous.
Yeah, he's he's not. I mean,
phenomenal interview with him. I can't put anything. I love
yeah,
it. Bigfoot. Nah.
nah,
I actually wrote that. Bigfoot. Nah.
nah. Loch
Nah.
Ness monster. Nah.
Nah.
Um,
He's
but
like,
I like that he's still got an open mind about it. It's not like I don't believe it and it's not real. It's show me proof, and I'm in.
no, and I like when I asked him about if he's ever had a paranormal experience, he kind of already went through it and said it. And I was like, well, I guess that kind of
Answers that question.
answers that question. If you ever had a paranormal experience with him talking with his dad, in a dream. But even him to himself is like, I don't dream hardly ever, and to have that dream, I think that says a lot. And he gave him that closure, and I think that's pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah, that's
I do
very.
have to look into Camarillo State Hospital where his mom works. I gotta look into that place. You gotta look into that place.
Yeah, I mean,
You gotta.
I know by where he lives, it's in Southern California, so that might be a stop we can make.
Yeah, if we don't have Queen Mary, we got Camarillo State Hospital.
Yeah, or if we, I don't know, I don't even know if we can get into Linda Vista, but
it sounds like his mom is still alive, so it might be an interview we can do too. Because she used to work there. But no, that awesome interview from Brett Wagner. Again, I do want to throw it out there. He's got a movie coming out. And he's just playing the fucking limo driver, but fucking go watch it. El Tonto, go watch it. It sounds like it might be an interesting movie for everybody to go watch. I'll watch it. And if you are in the LA area, go check out June 18th and 19th the Frankenson Collectible Show. Lost Leatherface, also known as Brett Wagner, will be there doing autographs and whatnots. So go check that out. But let's talk haunted movie sites. Now, we talked about this a little bit before the show, and I remember stating that there's a lot of haunted movie sets out there,
Yeah.
but there's not an I wouldn't say enough to really create segments or anything like that about it, other than to talk about some of the haunted movie sets. Would you agree to that?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. It was something that I thought of spur of the moment because I got the Big Schwag interview,
Yeah.
and I was like, that'd be kind of cool to talk about, because he's an actor, talk about paranormal experiences on set, things like that. It
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
seem like he had any paranormal experiences on set while he was at
No,
the
I was
movie.
I was trying to push him towards that way, and I think you were trying to kind of push him towards a way, but it doesn't seem like he's had that type of experience on set.
Yeah, because the last thing I want is to ask a question and have him just say no.
No,
Did
yeah,
you have any
yeah,
paranormal experiences on set? No.
no.
Oh, okay. Thanks
Uh,
for joining us.
uh, shit, that was a short interview. Thanks, Brett Wagner. Appreciate your
Yeah.
time. Uh,
And our call is 2 minutes long. But
yeah,
um but it was interesting because because when we talked before, I was like, I need to talk, we're gonna talk about, your paranormal beliefs and any experiences that you had on set. And all he did was give me a thumbs up, and I was like, okay, I have no idea what that's telling me. I'm just gonna think that you got some stuff to talk about, and I think we'll be okay. But so yeah, I didn't know what to expect with the interview, but I knew it was going
I
to be entertaining because he's
I
he's just
loved
a
it.
fun guy.
I loved it. I'm glad you guys kind of have a little bit of a friendship there. And shit, dude, if he, I and I don't even care that he's like Brett Wagner. It's like he wants to go debunk stuff.
Yeah,
I
I'm
want
totally
to go
I'm
prove
totally down
stuff.
for him to do that. He wants to debunk stuff. We want to prove stuff. I think
I'm
I,
like,
I
dude,
think that dynamic works. And
come-
come with us. Let's go. Jump on
we
your Harley. Meet
we
us
got
here.
a new show.
We got cameras, we got microphones, we got stuff. We'll hook you up with a millimeter or whatever, and
Oh yeah,
just send you into a room and see what
yes,
happens.
yes.
I'm totally down to do that. Um,
Which is interesting because he actually had a show. Well, he didn't have a show, but he had an idea of a show that he pitched about doing that, where he was the debunker. It's
yeah,
like, okay, well, what if you're the debunker and we're not we're the prover?
yeah,
And we go, I'm thinking Discovery's got a fucking hit show
yeah,
with us three. I'm telling you. Or Discovery Plus, here we come. I'm telling
yeah.
you.
Discovery Plus, here it comes. And
I
yeah,
am
we
I
call
am
it call it 2 men and a swag. I don't care.
yeah.
Whatever you
Okay.
want to call it.
All right. So, I'm not good literally with the so I'll let y'all to Discovery Plus. I'm just saying you can throw that out there before we go. I'm just saying. maybe we can
Check us out. We're gonna do a live stream here.
maybe we can make a little
Maybe we could get
Facebook.
maybe we get a little deal, and if Schwag gets a deal out of it and gets some money, I think he'll be happy.
At least pay for the trip. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, at least cover our expenses.
If you don't like it after the show, I
Yeah,
get it. But
yeah, yeah. Give us a little bit of a per diem. Maybe give us a pilot that we can run.
dude, I'm telling you, that's a show. That's a show. Two guys that are true believers and a guy that's not necessarily a skeptic, but wants to go debunk it. That'd be an awesome show. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm,
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
No, wait,
Uh,
but then there's you and I, and then there's
we got small, SM all small, and
Schwag.
Schwag. Bro, you see how my arm is
Yeah,
not in the
is
picture?
yeah. It's like that.
I would love that. And he's got the personality that would work.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, God, he cracks me up. I remember when we first met. I shook hands with him, and I looked up, and I was like, "Damn, you're a big fucker." And
I,
so
yeah.
I go, "So what's your gimmick? What do you wrestle as?" And he goes, "Oh, I don't wrestle. I manage." And I'm like, "You're a fucking manager?
What? How big are the wrestlers?
How big are the wrestlers if you're the fucking manager?"
But he said that was a downfall to him being a manager.
Yeah,
Is that he was actually
because it was a
bigger
downfall in
than most
WWE because
wrestlers.
they want somebody like Jimmy Hart or
Yeah, he's bigger
Paul
than most
Heyman.
of the
They want someone
wrestlers.
smaller so that the wrestler looks more intimidating.
Oh yeah.
But when the manager is more intimidating than the wrestlers are,
I think
yeah,
when the manager is scared of the small guy, that is awesome. When he's like, yeah, I don't fuck with that dude.
yeah. The
But he's so much
the manager is
smarter.
6'4",
I know.
330 pounds, and he's like, don't mess with that one.
That dude's
Mm-mm.
badass. He's gonna whoop everybody's ass.
He's my bodyguard.
He's my bodyguard. What?
That's
Yeah.
that's funny. That's what Kevin used to say when Kevin and I are walking. Kevin and I
Oh,
would walk
dude,
together or something. He'd be like, "That's my bodyguard. Dave's my bodyguard."
dude.
Because everybody's looking to pick a fight with Kevin, and he's like, "You don't want to pick. He's he's the one
No,
you got to worry about."
no, you want to pick a fight with me, not him.
Yeah, yeah. Come,
No,
come this way. I may look like I'm the worst one, but no, you don't want to mess with Dave.
I will hurt you. He will wish you were dead.
He
You feel so much pain.
you feel so ridiculous being beaten by someone that small. It's like, yeah, I'll kick your ass, but he'll bring you flowers in the hospital tomorrow.
And go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I got a little out of hand."
I apologize. I got a little angry. Here's a get well soon balloon.
You got a little angry?
I got a little angry.
I got a little angry.
And I did that to your brother.
This is a surprise.
Or no, cousin? Not Brian, but T-Bone?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it was really funny because that was back in the day where I was like, I didn't like knives being pointed at me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So he goes, check out what I just got, and he pulls out this knife and he points it at me. And before I realized what happened, I'd kicked it out of his hand, and it stuck in the wall of the garage there at your mom's place.
Whack.
He was like that, and pooh. And he looks over, and I was like, I'm sorry, and I left, and I was upset, and I walked out, and all I hear is, that was a nice kick.
ShadowCon.
God. And yeah, so then Kevin walks out and he goes, it's all right. He actually loved that. Come on back in. Come on back in. He was totally cool with that.
It's all right. He's not going to shoot you.
He's not going to shoot you. He's not upset. And I'm pretty that knife stayed in that wall for like months.
At least a couple.
At least a couple weeks.
See, what? Yeah, I was there. Yeah, I was there. Yeah, probably about at least a month.
Yeah, 'cause I remember I kept coming over and I'm like, "Are you gonna pull that out of the wall?" No, we leave that in when we talk about Dave.
It's like,
this
nope.
Is how we talk about you when you're not here.
quick little roundhouse, knife in the wall.
It was a quick little inside crescent, and it was just
Oh,
pa.
you went inside crescent. You almost dirty kicked his ass.
Yeah, it did.
You went round.
I was a little too close for a roundhouse. I had to pop with a crescent.
I used to love that Taekwondo tournaments. No, hardly anybody in Taekwondo tournament. I know we're off topic right now, but we
Totally.
love.
We haven't even talked about our first haunted set yet.
I used to love dirty kicks, and I don't know if anybody knows what a dirty kick is. Is when you're inside, especially in a Taekwondo tournament, is when you're inside and you take that fucking front leg and you whack it up this backside of their fucking face. And I used to love it because nobody really did them in Taekwondo. And I'd walk up like, you're too close. I'm not willing to step back and give you ground. So I'm just going
Pop.
to dirty kick you in the face. And then while you're dazed, step back and hit you with a fucking circle kick. And I win the tournament.
And I win because you don't get back up.
I win. I love dirty kicks. I miss dirty kicks. I don't think I could. Well, I can do a dirty kick, but I can't. I don't have the flexibility to go this way with my kick, but I had the flexibility to go this way with my kick.
This way. I don't know. I can still do the reverse crescent, so I can come inside and circle that way.
Okay.
So I can still do that. I still do that.
Like
playing around.
My roundhouse, like a roundhouse.
My roundhouse is about maybe
hip level. I'm hip level.
Like, I'm about chest.
I can make your kidneys bleed.
Yeah.
But but if it came down to me winning or losing, yeah, I would pull all this area just to kick you in the head. This area, I'd walk really funny for a really long time.
Yeah, so I can get you once. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that kick. I'm gonna get you once. And yeah, one of my favorite things when I was in pro wrestling is there was a wrestler that they called him Stretch Limo. And basically he was 6'11" and might have weighed 150 pounds.
Oh wow.
Right?
That's
really nice kid, but a really skinny, really tall dude. And we were actually practicing. We were doing a match together, and I'm like, you know what? I think I could super kick you in the face. And Brett was talking about a guy by the name of Tom Howard who trained Zoe Stark. Yep. And Tom Howard was teaching the class, and he goes, "I've got money that says you can't kick him in the face."
I bet you I can.
I bet you I can kick him in the face. I think I can kick him in the face. And it was so funny because like, okay, let's see what you can do. And I did it, and I hit him right in the chin. And
heel or palm or the foot? Heel or palm of the foot?
The palm of the foot. Actually, right in the arch. I put my arch right there. And I held it there for a second too. It was like, tuh! And I brought it back down, and Stretch Limo went,
"Oh shit!"
And Tom was like, "All right." He hands me $10. He's like, "I didn't think you could do that." He goes, "We only need to do that with a match." And he made me do it with Nathan Jones.
I don't have the speed or the flexibility anymore, but I still got the power. And the only reason I say that is because we were doing when I went to training, I got told, because you have to tell people when you're going when you go to my career that is getting ready to end, you have to write down all the shit.
I'm sorry, bro. That's not a career. You didn't you didn't do it long enough.
It was supposed to be a career. But when you do that stuff and you you have to write when you have to write down all the stuff, like all the arts and the belts and all that good stuff, right? So I write all that stuff down. So I get told I'm not allowed to teach. I get that. So the trainer, he tells me to. There's uh, a move where it's a thigh kick. Basically, that's all it is. It's a thigh kick, and he goes, "Kick me as hard as you can, like if a fender was coming at you." I was like, "Are you sure?" And he goes, "Yes." I said, "Okay." And then I asked again, "Are you sure that you want me to go like my life's in danger? I
You
gotta
want me? You want me to
first
go 100%?
you want me to go full out, like no adrenaline and adrenaline rush?
Adrenaline, adrenaline.
It must be time for a new beer. Adrenaline rush, but just full out power, just give you power. He's like, yes. I said, are you sure?
Are you sure?
Time. And he goes to say yes. Now, mind you, he's got a bag, a bag on his leg, so I don't, like hurt
So you
him.
don't break his fucking
And
thigh bone.
I kicked him, and the shock on his face when he was in the air, when he was in the air sideways, going, "Oh fuck." and, he lands on the ground, and everybody in the class is looking at me like, "Holy shit!" And I went,
What the hell did you just do?
I went, "I don't have speed. I still have power. I know how to twist my hips."
I know how to throw my body into it.
And he gets up. He's like, "That was a good kick." And he starts limping away like, "Oh my god." And he's got this big old pad on his leg. He's like, he got his revenge though, because he used me a dummy for a couple takedowns.
I bet he did.
So he got his revenge on that part. But he comes up to me after class, after we finished training on that day. He comes up to me and goes, "What the fuck?" I said, "You told me."
You said I asked you repeatedly. Are you sure?
And he said yes. And you have my background. You're the one that told me I'm not allowed to teach.
Yeah. I know how to throw a kick.
I said, I can't kick up here no more because, I don't stretch.
Yeah. But if you
Here?
from thigh to chest, I'm still golden. I'll still hurt somebody.
He's like, I was not expecting you to take me off my feet. I was like, well, you told me to act like if someone was attacking me. So
yeah, you told me. What am I? Wait a minute. Am I tip tap you? No.
I'm not. No. He's like, this is only supposed to be a distractive technique. I was like,
well, you seem pretty distracted.
I'm like, well, you lay on the ground, you're pretty distracted.
You're pretty distracted. You're on the ground. I think that distracted you a little bit. I did that with Kevin, and it was really funny because he was like, I don't know, you know how he is.
Oh,
but he was like, he's like, "Dave, I need to fart. I want you to kick me as hard as you can in the stomach." And I go, "As hard as I can in the? You want me to kick you as hard as I can in the stomach?"
In the stomach?
In the stomach? And he goes, "Yeah, I need to fart." And I go, "You sure?"
Holy shit!
As hard as I can. He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, it should be fine." And I'm like, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that, bro. I'm not gonna kick you as hard as I can. No, it's okay. You know, you're not that strong. Go ahead. I'm like, maybe not up here, but down here, I don't know, dude. I've broken 4x4 posts and broken bricks with my legs.
Oh yeah.
I no, I'm not. He goes, no. He goes, okay, 75%. Give me 75%. So I said, okay, I'll give you 75%. And I hit him, and I think it took him about a minute and a half to exhale, and he farted. I'm he definitely farted, and it was just like, pooh, and he's like,
when
ah. He
when I
goes,
was
okay, and then after that, whenever I got the urge to do that, he asked me to just punch him, not to kick him anymore. Because
I
because
was
upper body, I mean, yeah, I could block stuff, but I wasn't very. I didn't have near the upper body that I do now. And I got this from the wrestling is when I got this upper body.
sorry, we're old, and you said no. I don't have nearly.
I no, I mean no, I mean you remember I didn't have the broad shoulders or any of that when I was younger. Um, but from the wrestling though, it was like all of a sudden, I could bench 305. That's what I maxed out at.
I was doing 15 reps of 385
That's nice.
with my uppers. So 15. I never maxed out on my uppers. I maxed out on legs because they quit putting weight on there because they were scared of.
Yeah.
And,
Oh, no, I maxed out on the leg press. They were like, no, we don't want to put any more weight on there.
well, no, but I got told
You're
when I
good.
was training and everything, like seriously training when I was younger by my sensei for Taekwondo, that I was not allowed to kick anybody as hard as I could because he had me kick him as hard as I could with bags, and he went no because I could kick a 200-pound bag and make it explode like it was a normal thing. Like I went through marble, I went through brick, I went through wood, like you were talking about, and I got to that point where he was just like, "You're not allowed to kick anybody ever as hard as you can, unless he asked me to," because we had visiting senseis, and he wanted to show off his students,
Yeah.
and he'd be like, "Hey, go kick that bag as hard as you can." And I would look at you. Told me I'm not allowed to do that. He's like, "Just go kick the bag as hard as you can."
Yeah.
We
That's
got
that's
visitor.
that's when your sensei pimps you out.
Yeah.
And my sensei used to do that all the time. Only he would take me to other schools
Yeah.
to have me challenge him.
No, see, my thing was we'd show up at other, at tournaments at other schools for tournaments and stuff because a lot of people nowadays you have these fucking big uh tournaments and these gyms and stuff. When we were younger, the tournaments were at the fucking schools.
Yeah.
So we would go to schools for tournaments and he would do that. He'd be like, "Hey man, do me a favor. Sensei wants to see what you got. Go kick his bag." I'm like, "Can you pay for the bag?" He's like, "No, he's willing to do it." I'm like, "Okay." And I'd kick the bag and destroy the bag and I'd walk away. And next thing I know, I wasn't fighting in the tournament.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's right. No.
what? What do you mean I have no opponents? I'm fighting. What?
What do you mean no? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, same thing. He said, take me to tournament. And it's so funny. My sensei would be like, okay, Dave, I'm going to take you to lunch today. And I knew what that meant. That meant he was going to take me and pit me at some place. He was going to make some money. And then he was going to take me to Denny's. And sure as shit, he would do that. We'd stop in front of this, this karate school, or we'd be at a school for a
Oh,
tournament or something.
I love
I
karate schools.
I never knew where I was going. I would just go over, and he'd go, "Here, you're a brown belt today." And he'd make me put the brown belt on, and I'm like, "Okay, here, you're a purple belt today." I'm like, "All right, I'm a purple belt today." Um, and he'd bring me in, have me take on their biggest guy because I was literally the smallest in the class.
That,
But
that was
none of the
Shotokan that you were doing, or was that
Shotokan. It was Shotokan, yeah.
Shotokan? Yeah.
Yeah. I took Taekwondo from my father because my father's a red belt in Taekwondo. And then my sensei's brother was a black belt in Aikido, so I learned Aikido from him.
Did you learn Aikido or did you learn Aikido?
Aikido.
I'm considered a 3rd degree black belt in Aikido because I learned Aiki and Do,
Mhm.
all 3 levels,
Hmm.
instead of
Yeah.
just one Aikido.
Yeah, just Aikido. And and then my I'm careful. My scoutmaster was a black belt in Mudak Kwan.
Mm.
So I actually learned Mudak Kwan from him, and then I'm certified to teach self-defense and jiu-jitsu.
See, I
And
did
then
Brazilian jiu-jitsu. You did
yeah,
jiu-jitsu.
I did the American jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
The
The
tame
Japanese,
one.
yeah,
The Japanese one.
the Japanese
Uh
style judo.
the watered down American version of the Japanese one.
Yeah.
Um and then I did kickboxing for a year, and I went 4-1 with 3 knockouts, and then I jumped into the pro wrestling.
Yeah, I did the 4-0 in MMA
Yeah.
and then realized it took me too long to recuperate.
Yeah, that's why I stopped doing the wrestling, because it took me too long to
Too long to
recuperate.
recuperate. I was just too old.
Yeah, that's what it was for me. I was just too old to. I got into it too late.
Yeah.
Um, and MMA, I really only did one match, but it was against Frank Shamrock in the Lions Den.
I trained at the Lions Den.
You trained at the Lions Den?
I trained at the Gracies, and
The Shamrock.
my uncle knew Ken.
Yeah, Ken worked with UPW.
So my uncle knew Ken. Ken ended up at the Captain's Anchor.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You need to meet my nephew." And I told he was like, "Oh, he says I need to meet you." And we started talking about MMA, or actually we just talked about martial arts. And I was like, "Yeah, right now I'm a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu." And he goes, "Oh, fuck that shit." Because he found out I was training with Gracie's. And he's like, "Fuck them, fuck that shit. You're gonna come to the Lions Den." So I went and trained at the Lions Den. Actually, my 4-0 career is actually considered out of the Lions Den.
Cool.
It was awesome. It was pretty awesome. I couldn't recoup, and
It was so hard to recover from that. And I mean, I wouldn't even call what I did a match, but went to the Lions Den because we had a meeting with Ken Shamrock, because we were doing a crossover between UPW and the Lions Den.
oh, awesome.
And so we were going to have a belt that we call the shoot fighting belt, and then it would be MMA versus UPW, and they would do a shoot wrestling match.
Oh, okay.
And I was the referee, permanent referee for all the shoot matches. And it went pretty well. It was a cool thing. We did it for, I don't know, we did it for a year or a year and a half. Yes, I'm a friend. But we went to the Lions Den, and somebody was like, "Oh, hey, does anyone want to step into the Lions Den and just kind of get a feel for it?" And I was like, "Sure." So I walked in there, and I'm just looking around, seeing the bloodstains on the floor, stuff like that. The
Oh,
hurricane fence around the
oh
whole
yeah.
thing, and it was just kind of awestruck. And I turned to the door to leave, and Frank Shamrock is standing in the doorway.
Oh, Frank was still there. Okay, Frank wasn't there when I was
Yeah.
there because
No,
they
Frank
Ken
Frank
and
was there.
Frank had
Ken
their
wasn't fighting anymore. Frank was fighting.
Yeah, Ken and Frank. Okay, so you were there when Ken and Frank reconciled.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, this was 2002,
Yeah, okay,
2001, 2002.
all right.
Um anyway, so Frank Shamrock is standing in the doorway, and he goes, "Yeah, I forgot to tell you something. If you go into the Lion's Den, you got to fight to get out."
Yep.
So he closes the gate, and so I actually fought with Ken Shamrock's brother, with Frank Shamrock, and Ken's standing there, and Tom Howard standing there, are all like, "Dude, David's gonna get fucked up. Watch this." And he goes, He goes, okay. He goes, first round, we'll just kind of strike a little bit. I'm going to get a feel for how you strike. So I was playing around. We struck for a little bit. And, like I said, nothing serious. It wasn't much more than a sparring match. But then the second round, he's like, okay, for the second round, we're just going to grapple.
Oh.
And back then, I was 175.
Oh, that's a good weight for you.
I was about in the best shape
Yeah,
that
that's
I
a
could
good
have been.
weight for you. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good weight for me. I could still move really fast, and I still had my strength.
Because you're what,
I'm
5'6",
5'6".
5'7"? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good weight
I
for
was
you.
I was closer to 5'7" in 2002.
Yeah. Especially with if being in shape, that's a good weight for you.
Yeah. Now I was in probably best shape of my life was 2001, 2002, and so I wrestled him, and Frank is a strong motherfucker.
Dude.
Um, we were going through it, and we haven't even talked about anything paranormal yet, but
I know.
um, it was funny. I got him in my finishing move for UPW, which is called timeout. It's a submission move where I lock both arms behind the neck,
Oh, okay.
and I'm down on the mat, and I lock both arms, and then I sit up.
Oh.
Right. So I got him in that move, and he goes, damn, you're fucking strong. And he's sitting there like this, and he's strung out. He goes, you're fucking strong. And then he basically just kind of picked me up in that position. He's like, I can't get out of this. So he just stood up with me.
I got a whole lot more strength.
He just like hulked out on me. He couldn't get out of the hold, but he was way stronger than my weight. So he just like stood up, and then he like just plowed me into the mat.
We go down.
Yeah. So yeah, and then the third round was just submission moves. So we were just because he's like, I like that submission move. I want to use that. So we just started doing stuff, and I got a triangle on him, and he was like, that's good, but put your hips here, and he was basically training me.
Yeah.
And but it was really cool. And then we went out of the ring and had a beer. But yeah, that was my one, I guess, kind of an MMA match.
Yeah, my uncle Johnny got me involved with those guys, and it kind of what you happened to you. It sounds like my first day. So Ken does not hold anybody back. He's like, we're all fucking going all the time. And so I walk in. I'm like, all right, what do you want me to do? He's like, go hit the bag for a little bit. So I'm just hitting the bag. He's like, all right, you gotta go in the lion's den. We're gonna see what you got. And I stepped in there, and exact words out of his mouth. He's like, just so you're aware, you're in this now. You have to fight to get out of this. And I went, like, fight, or just, fight. He goes, no, you got to fight to get out
You
of
gotta fight.
And so first thing I did is I kicked the first dude straight in his fucking sternum, and he was done. He was done. He looked at me. He's like, okay, grappling. And this dude picked me up on a double leg takedown because I fucking fucked up on my footwork. That's basically all I can say is I fucked up on my footwork. This dude picked me up on a double leg takedown and fucking body slammed me. And I went, all the air, you could have sold that shit on layaway. Left my body.
Yeah,
And all I remember is grabbing his neck. And I went, okay, I can't breathe. You're not going to be able to breathe here in a second.
I'm going to get you too.
And so I had no breath in me, and I wrapped him up, basically the guillotine, and I wrapped him up, and I fucking straightened my body out, and he was tapping, and it was literally, I thought that took a total of like 2.5 minutes. I got out of that ring, and he said, that took you 15 seconds. And I went, oh, damn. He's like, I don't know what you train at the Gracies, but you're going to start training my guys here while you train on striking. I was like, I don't think I need training on striking.
Did you see me kick that dude in the sternum?
He goes, well, we're gonna find out. And he's the one that said, your first fight is in a week. You need to get down to this weight. And I'm like, well, I'm sitting at 165 at that point in time, because I'm carb loading, heavy weights, and he goes, you need to get down to 165. I said, okay, I quit eating pasta. And I went, he was like, what did you do to cut weight so fast? I said, I quit eating pasta. I kept my PB and J's, but I quit eating pasta. Yeah, 4-0. I went. Ken is an extreme individual, dude. That dude,
He is 120% all the time.
dude, he punched me. Like, I got to spar with him twice, and both times he just pummeled me.
Yeah.
And I was like, how are you hitting me? How I never understood, and to this day I still don't understand how he hit me, because I have reach on him. He's taller than me.
Yeah.
By 2 inches. He's like 5'10".
Yeah.
I was 5'8" at the time. I'm probably a little shorter now because I'm old.
Age,
But-
gravity.
But at that time I was 5'8", and he could. I had a longer reach than him though. 5'8" with like a 5'11" wingspan, 5'10" wingspan. My arms are long, so I was like, I'm gonna fuck this dude up. And all of a sudden I'm getting pummeled. I'm like, how are you hitting me? How are you hitting me? And next thing you know, I'm on the ground and he's elbow drop on my fucking forehead. Like, he doesn't hold back in trainings, nothing. Like, he is 100% all the time. I think I had him in a heel hook for about 3 seconds when the bell rang. And I was like, I got you. And I had him, and you saw his face turning, and I was wrapping it up and pulling that heel towards my body. I was like, I fucking got you, you motherfucker, finally. And you hear that from the guys outside. But Ken is a beast.
Ken's a beast. I never actually. I mean, I wrestled. I mean, I refereed alongside him when he wrestled,
Oh,
and I worked out with him. He's intense all the time. Even just
All the
talking to him, even just
All the
standing there talking to him, he's intense.
intense,
Intense.
dude. I miss those days, honestly. I mean, I'm actually, I was just talking to Monty about starting to do yoga again, just so I can get my flexibility back
Yeah.
and my
I-
core back.
I do too. I want to get back into doing yoga.
I'm thinking about starting it. And okay, all right. We had a huge squirrel moment.
A huge, like over an hour.
And I apologize for that, folks. But we're going to talk about haunted movie sets. Oh my God. Haunted movie sets. So, what is the first, when you think of a haunted movie set, what's the first? Oh, I got the hiccups. Place that you think of,
Poltergeist.
right? Okay. Yes.
I mean, that's the first one that I think of, because maybe not so much haunted, but cursed.
I was okay. Curse is a good.
Yeah. Because I don't want to, like I said, I have a documentary about like a haunted movie set, but I think we're talking about more like strange things happen,
Anything's
or
happening,
the movie is
paranormal.
cursed or something like that.
Yeah,
But
paranormal that's happened actually on the movie sets themselves.
yeah, Poltergeist easily takes the taco, and it's not even number one on my list that I have here, but
I thought that was weird too. Well, I think the highest I saw Poltergeist being on the list was 4.
4. Yeah.
And I find that interesting. But Poltergeist is always the first thing that pops into my mind, considering
And
the
mainly it's
death of
centered
the
around the little
girl
girl. Yeah, it's centered around the little girl.
and a lot of the activity when you read about it centers around her too. Now, was she cursed based off the movie, or was she cursed before she even started? That's my question.
Well, that's interesting because I mean, she died. So
Yeah,
I
she
want
passed
to
away in the
read.
second one.
Yeah.
Oh, third one.
So
Third
third
one.
one, she passed away in the third one. Um. So this is what I read about it. According to the report in the Times, during the filming, Oliver Robbins nearly died when he was choked by the arms of an evil puppet, only to be saved by Steven Spielberg.
Wow.
That's just one thing. Heather O'Rourke,
Who
who
played Carol
played
Ann?
who played Carol Ann, died a few years later during a routine surgery, while Dominique Dune, Dana Freeling,
Yeah.
who was strangled by an ex-boyfriend. Um, but one thing that was reported on set,
The clown doll.
apparently, with the clown doll
The clown doll.
was found in different places between scenes. Like the clown doll would move around.
That is, dude.
So it's like there's a full-on Annabelle fucking
Going
with him
on.
on
Yeah.
set. Because I don't remember anything about a clown doll in the movie. So,
Well,
but
you have the clown in the first one
right,
that goes after the boy, the son.
right. So, but yeah, this clown doll apparently kept moving around on set.
Yeah. Dude, fuck that. Fuck that. I mean, well, did Dominique die? I don't remember if Dominique
Yes.
actually died in real life.
Yeah,
Being
she was
choked to death.
strangled. She was strangled by an ex-boyfriend. So she died. I mean, yeah, she died in real life.
That dude, that's the one that always gets to me is Poltergeist. Poltergeist, her dying during the making, during surgery, which was also taking part in the making of part 3, which they had to do a lot of CGI for the making of part 3,
Hmm.
which is when I actually learned about CGI. um,
Yeah, died November 4th, 1982.
she died in 82.
Yep. So Dominique
She
ended the
died.
relationship on October 30th, 1982. That same night, a distraught Sweeney, who was the boyfriend, raced to her house where she and actor David Parker were rehearsing a scene from V: The Final Battle in
Yeah, it was,
1984.
yeah, not too long after.
He dragged her outside and strangled her, leaving her brain dead. 5 days later, she was removed from life support and died.
And that was in 82,
That
not
was in 82.
84. So
Right.
V was the show
V
that
was
came out in 84.
she was just rehearsing the stuff
Yeah.
for V in 84.
Now, if everybody doesn't remember, if I remember it, Dominique is oh shit, the assistant to the old lady, right? Because you have the husband, the wife, Carol Ann, the brother. Everybody knows who Carol Ann is. I can't tell you who the names of everybody is in this movie. And then one of the assistants to. She should have been one of the assistants to. God, what is her name? The lady that comes in and is like, go towards the light.
Oh, the little squatty chick,
Yeah,
the
she's
psychic.
yeah,
Yeah, the
Dominique is the assistant,
Zelda
right?
Rubinstein. That's her
Zelda
name.
Rubinstein, thank you. She Dominique has played one of the assistants to her, if I remember right. If I remember right. I could be
I
wrong.
think
It's been a long
that's
time.
right.
because
She
she had the dude
her
and the chick. Actually, the two dudes and the chick with her. One of the dudes with the glasses saw all the maggots coming out of his face.
mhm.
She was like the filmographer, or he was the film. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I see that movie, but if I remember right, Dominique is actually the one that was the assistant to her.
Yeah,
It was one of the assistants to her. Not a big part of the movie, but oddly enough, she gets strangled to death
thanks.
during. I mean, technically, right after that movie gets released.
Yeah,
Interesting. That's interesting. I think it's interesting that's considered number 4 on the
that's number
list.
4. That's interesting. And uh, so I don't know which direction to go, but I was looking at the number 5 one on my list, which is The Conjuring.
I
So
found that interesting too. I didn't hear anything about The Conjuring until I started pulling this stuff up.
yeah, so yeah, it's based on the true findings by Ed and Lorraine Warren. The film had its fair share of paranormal incidents, from strange claw marks on star Vera Farmiga's computer.
From what I read, it's not just her computer, but all around the set.
Yeah, all around the set there were these claw marks everywhere. Um, James Wan, I guess his dog was growling at invisible intruders.
Wow.
Um, a strange wind that apparently put Carolyn Perone in the hospital. That's the person the movie's based on.
Yes.
'Cause she was on set. To a fire birthing itself in the cold winter and caught the actors and crew. Huh. Fire birthing itself in the cold winter. So I guess this fire just miraculously happened.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
Yeah, just some really crazy stuff on the set of The Conjuring. And I'm going through this, and there's mostly horror movies come up.
Well, yeah, of
Right.
course. 'Cause well, a lot of these, like the horror movies that we're talking about, are most of them are based on actual events that occurred. If you think about it, because
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot, and what was interesting, I'm seeing a lot about The Conjuring and Annabelle in this in what I'm seeing, and then I mean these were all based off of these movies were all based off events that actually happened.
Hmm.
You have a few like The Omen, Rosemary's Baby, uh, that and Poltergeist, where you can there were just movies at the time. Um, but strange occurrences and phenomenon happening, not just offset, but offset to where that's why they end up on this list. And I don't know. This this is interesting. I think we're on the same fucking goddamn website again.
I think we are too.
Like The Omen.
The
That
Omen. Yeah, The Omen is number 2 on this list that I have. Is it number 2 on your list as well?
Yeah, number 2 on the list.
Okay, so yeah, we're on the same site
I
again.
think we're on the same site. Cinemaholic. I think we're on Cinemaholic.
Cinemaholic, yeah. I thought you said Selma Hayek, and I'm like, Selma Hayek.
Selma Hayek, she's not in none of these movies.
I don't know. She can haunt me anytime, but that's not. I'm out. Unamas.
It was widely believed and accepted at the time of its release that the true incidents are planning to recant themselves if the movie is shot. And
Wait, were
guess
you
what it did? Star Peck and screenwriter Seltzer were aboard planes struck by lightning, while producer Harvey Bernhardt was almost struck by lightning in Rome. Several people linked to the film were involved in a car crash, including the
including the director?
director.
Yeah.
During filming, Donner's hotel was bombed by the IRA. Peck almost boarded a flight during a trip to Israel, one of the locations during the shoot. That crash that crashed and killed everyone. Several animal handlers were attacked and injured. Peck's son, Jonathan Peck, committed suicide several months before filming began. Following the production, special effects director John Richardson and his assistant Liz Moore were involved with a serious car accident that decapitated Moore. Holy shit. Sorry. The gruesome incident, which happened on Friday the 13th, 1976, mirrors on the Omen's most violent scenes, also decapitation. Yeah, that's the Omen. Dude, I love this movie, by the way. But how did they keep filming this?
Right?
I mean, a lot of these things were happening
I
while
mean,
they're filming.
yeah, I mean nowadays someone gets a cold and they stop filming.
Nowadays, someone catches a cold, they blame it on COVID, and they're fucking stuck in their house for fucking 4 weeks.
Yeah,
Uh,
or you're Tom Cruise and you don't release Maverick for a year and a half.
oh my god, fucking Maverick! God damn you, Tom Cruise.
God damn you, Tom Cruise. Um, then there's Amityville Horror. I mean, one of our favorite spots to talk about is the Amityville house. And it says the case that really blossomed the Warrens into global fame has twisted roots to the story. The brutal murders and impassioned crimes made for a horrifying read, with the star James Brolin leaping out of his chair while reading the script, when suddenly a pair of jeans fell off a hanger. Another incident had the two gasping for air after a lamp insubordinately fell off and nearly choked the two actors while filming a scene.
Oh, Jesus. Wow.
And again, they just kept on doing it. They just kept on filming the movie. It was like, let's
Not, not
go.
just not just keep on doing the movie, but urge them to keep doing the movie.
Yeah,
They're like,
let's keep
yeah,
going. That's
uh,
that's peculiar, but let's keep going.
this shit is happening for real. We really gotta knuckle down and get this shit done. They're like, urge them to keep filming everything that was going on. I thought was interesting is the fire on The Exorcist.
Yeah, I was definitely wanting to save that for last because
Okay,
I
I
mean
won't talk about it yet.
it's number one on the list. But no, we can
Yeah.
talk about it. It's totally
Oh,
fine.
oh, no, I don't, we can keep going. I mean, we don't have to talk about it.
I mean, it's just
We can.
because
Well, we talked about The Conjuring already, huh?
we talked about The Conjuring, and I think you touched on Annabelle, but did we talk about what was at the
I
end?
don't think I didn't say what happened, but you have the exorcism of. Oh my god!
The Exorcist,
The
the Exorcism of Emily Rose.
exorcism of
Yeah,
Emily Rose.
yeah. Which I got to say, Jennifer Carpenter, that was her best work. She was
It was
she
a
was
good movie.
friggin' scary.
Really great movie. Great role for Jennifer Carpenter. She did a really good job.
Yeah,
Um,
I I remember they were talking about that one scene where she's in the barn or something, and
in
she
the
does
barn.
that.
Oh
She
my
does that. She does that face like that.
god!
Ah, right. That
Jesus.
there's no CGI. That's all her.
No, that is her, and that is
That's her, and she
fucking
did that, and she
phenomenal.
scared the shit out of the director.
Dude, that
He
movie
forgot.
was so good. So I saw the movie, and the next day, so I rented the movie. I should say, I rented the movie, watched the movie,
It's dark, definitely.
It was, of course, late at night when we watched it because that's how we watch horror movies in my house. Um, Next day, I got up and went to the store and bought the movie. I love The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Great movie.
Such a good movie because you get a great horror thriller supernatural element, and then it's kind of a courtroom drama at the same time.
Dude.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
I
like
loved it.
CSI met The Exorcism, or not CSI. What's the one with Law and Order met The Exorcism.
Yeah,
That's this movie.
yeah.
It's such a good movie. If nobody's, I know it came out in 2005, but if nobody has seen this movie yet, go watch The Exorcism of Emily Rose. It is so worth the watch. And
So yeah, but during the movie they said um during
radio
the
only
I
came
guess during
one
the
by themselves.
yeah, so radio came on by itself during the failed exorcism scene. They also had eerie touches and silhouettes following her around during
Yeah,
filming
Jennifer
of the
Carpenter.
possessions. Yeah. The director of photography reported certain incidents of the imagery unusually blurring and deforming.
You can clean the lens. Yeah. But,
Yeah. Well, but he was already saying, I checked the lens, it wasn't dirty,
yeah.
but you get the blurring and deforming, like, and it says like if you're possessed by a demonic spirit, or if there's something in the foreground that's
Yeah, it's
making the background
creating,
blurry. So if there's
yeah,
something else that the camera's trying to focus on, then you'll get that out of focus
worse section.
blurry thing.
It happens a lot on my phone in my house, so I understand exactly what they're talking about.
Hmm.
Where shit, it's like it's trying to focus on something that's in front of the camera that you don't see, but everything else behind it is blurry because it's trying to focus on the thing that you can't see with your eye. Yeah, I understand that one. But that's dude, the fact that they saw shadow figures following Jennifer Carpenter around bugs the hell out of me. I mean, that's non-human entities following her around while they're doing a depiction of a true story
Yeah,
of what happened. And if you guys don't believe me, you can look up the court case for Emily Rose versus whatever fucking church that was for the preacher. It's a true story. Did they exaggerate it for the movie? Absolutely, because it's a
of
fucking
course.
movie. But again, another true story.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, just like the whole the whole Conjuring universe pretty much is somewhere based in fact.
Yeah, because it's the Conjuring universe, Annabelle, the Conjuring, whatever you want to call that universe.
Yeah.
You like
I think they call it the Conjuring universe, but
they
it's yeah,
call it,
it's
they should call
Annabelle.
it the Ed and Lorraine Warren universe, is what they
Yeah.
should call it.
They should call it the Warrens, but yeah, they call it the Conjuring universe. Um but yeah, it kind of makes you wonder, like, we always talk about how if we talk about something it makes it stronger.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Giving it
Um
power.
you were giving it power
So you're
that
you're making this movie about it again to give it all kinds of power because millions of people are gonna fucking watch it.
yep. Um no, I'm not leaving here. I live here.
Chatty, have you redone your fucking
Yeah, I
barrier?
did. I did it a week ago.
Wow.
And I meant to talk about that too because it's like
Dude,
that my barrier spill is not holding anymore.
not just that. You don't have no stutter.
No.
Something's going on.
Besides the fact it's a new phone.
But my phone didn't never did that.
No, but my old
You know
phone
what I
did.
mean?
But when I switched to the new phone, it doesn't stutter anymore.
I
Not. No, not stutter.
I
So,
I don't know.
So let's talk about the one movie that's not a horror movie on this list,
Oh,
and
Passion
and
of
that is the
Christ.
Passion of the Christ in 2004. This one's really interesting, and I'm just gonna read it. um, Technically not a horror movie, but when you consider all the blood and violence in the film, it can so easily be classified as horror. It is an old adage that lightning never strikes twice. Tell that to Jan Michelini, assistant director on set, who set an unprecedented record of doing the aforementioned while shooting. So apparently, being Jesus isn't enough. Jim Caviezel had a piece of flesh ripped out by a fake lash during a scene.
Dude,
So when he was whipped,
now did was he wearing the flake lash or did like a flake? Uh, oh my God, a
no,
fake
like when he
lash.
was whipped,
Oh, a lash.
a
Oh,
lash. So
okay.
he was when because there was that one scene where he was whipped, right? Because he's Jesus. So he was
Yeah,
whipped
yeah, yeah,
by
yeah.
one of these fake lashes. A piece of flesh was ripped off his body.
Which these don't hit the body.
No, they're supposed
So
to be fake.
how
They're
did
not
a
supposed to actually.
lash?
How did he lose a piece of flesh from a lash that never actually hit him?
Yeah, they're not close enough to hit the person.
Yeah. So it also says vague incidents compounded as the shooting went on, as he dislocated his shoulder while carrying the wooden cross,
That's just
and
poor.
yeah, and that's just like that's a heavy fucking thing. And
Yeah,
literally had smoke emanating from his ears after getting struck by lightning. So Jim Caviezel was struck by lightning on set. He also suffered pneumonia and had regular bouts with scathing headaches and dystopian visions. So the guy had visions, pneumonia, struck by lightning,
and all,
dislocated shoulder,
and the fucking
and
chunk of
lost a piece of
yeah.
flesh, all, trying to play Jesus. I know, and I've been struck by lightning or close to it. That's some shit.
That that's interesting to me. Like I'm not like Christianity worshiper person, but again, if I believe in one God, I believe in all the gods, and so I believe in God. I just also believe in all the other gods. Um, that's interesting that something like this would happen on set. It's like okay, you want to depict a film for Jesus, my son, who I don't believe is God's son, by the way. I think he was a good man that went out and helped people, but I don't believe he was the son of God. But uh but if you're going to lose flesh, I he's carrying a fucking big ass cross. I can see
I could
that.
see the dislocated shoulder.
I can debunk that easily.
Yeah.
I can't debunk a guy that's standing 2 feet away or 2 feet further away from actually hitting you with a fucking whip to actually hit you to take the flesh off your body.
Hmm.
I can't debunk that. If the guy is 2 feet further away, which is about the standard for whip people,
Yeah.
to because you don't have to be real close. If people know cinematography, you don't have to be really close to show the whip lashing and get that pop and all that good stuff without actually hitting. It's about a 2 foot distance
Yeah.
from what they're standing. But being that far away and still have flesh ripped apart off your body without being hit with the
Hmm.
actual whip, and the getting struck by lightning and smoke coming out your fucking ears, you can call it bad luck. But this all happened to one guy.
One guy who was trying to be Jesus. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's an interesting tale. That and
Yeah.
to have be on, most haunted or cursed sets, and it'd be what, number 7 on the
It was number
list?
7 on the list. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
What's number 8?
Number 8 was Annabelle.
Annabelle.
Yeah, and it was
The
Screen. Old, yeah, it's Screen. It's not that old, but on the on-set incidents, which included chairs moving about and plates flying off racks, buzz the movie with enough to preclude horror. The director explains the first incident was when we were prepping. We went into the apartment where we were shooting, and the transient window above the living room window, it was a full moon, and there were 3 fingers drawn into the dust along the window.
and the demon in the force in
So,
the movie has 3 fingers and 3 talons.
yeah, and it's also a a mockery of the Holy Trinity. But
Yeah. I have a
so you have
picture.
the living room window, and then there's a window above it, and
Yeah.
that's where the 3 fingers were in the dust. Like anybody would be up there, like marking shit.
Yeah. Especially if it was on the outside or anything like that. But
Yeah. So that was interesting.
I mean, that's a little.
I like
I don't know.
the.
How do you feel about that one? I
I
feel
think I'm more the chairs moving about, plates flying off, things like that.
that
I'm more
mess.
interested in those. I'm sorry if it's disrespectful, but those are the ones that intrigue me more than the 3 finger marks.
I would love to see that, but and it says they have a picture of it, but I'm not seeing any pictures associated with that. I don't know why there wouldn't be, but he has no pictures of that. Oh, possession. That's number 9 on the list is the possession. And I love that movie.
A friend.
Yeah, my friend. I love the movie The Possession. I don't know how you feel about the movie
Oh,
Possession,
I
but
love the
Or
possession.
really love.
I absolutely love the possession. Yeah, I'm not finding the pictures of the marks on the window. It's not.
So again, another one of those
patient.
movies. Okay, I'll be
I guess we're
patient.
I
Another one
guess
of
we're
those
supposed to be
movies.
patient.
Yeah, we gotta be patient. Another one of those movies that deals with vestigial traditions. The movie turned out to uninteresting to say the least. Huh? That I don't. Did I
Some
say that?
I think some of the grammar in this
Yeah,
website is suspect. I
but
was
the
like,
events
what?
that took place on the sets sure made for an interesting read. The
Est.
focus lights on set
What year is
cracked
it?
with no plausible forces. Lights on set. Oh
So the
shit!
the
Just
focus lights
remember,
on set
the
cracked,
focus lights on set cracked with no plausible explanation, and chilly breezes wafted through
closed
closed
sets.
sets. It only seemed to happen when integral scenes were in the process of being filmed. The creepiest, though, by far, was the reducing of the storage facility to ashes. All the film's props, including real life Dybbuk,
Dybbuk,
Dybbuk.
Dybbuk,
That that is
Dybbuk
not
box.
Dybbuk. There's
That's
two
Hebrew.
Dybbuk
It's Hebrew, but it's
Dybbuk
Dybbuk. It's Dybbuk.
boxes caught on fire and were completely obliterated. So all these boxes that they use for that
So
movie
all the prop Dybbuk boxes
just poof
were
in
destroyed. Yeah.
that's a little freaky. Uh, it almost seems I don't know what else was in there in those storage units, unless that's all that was in there in those storage units.
It says all the film's props, but you know, most of the props were probably the Dybbuk boxes and costumes and
Yeah, some
whatever
costumes.
shit like
Yeah,
that.
burning to ash. That's an interesting one. I'm kind of a toss up between this one. Is like, was it paranormal or did shit just catch on fire? I But how did the shit catch on fire? See,
Yeah, I
that
don't know. I again, I like the focus lights cracking. That's an interesting one. Chilly breezes on a closed set, but I can't not suspect that the whole props catching fire and stuff that wasn't um
paranormal
that
or
was I
just
don't know if that was paranormal or not.
that just
And
happened.
and I kind of want to go back to The Exorcist with
We're
that.
getting we're getting
We're getting there, but
there.
I will go back to The Exorcist because that's an instance where there was a fire, and I'm hard pressed to debunk that because of what happened with that fire.
Yeah.
Um, so this one is like, oh, the prop thing caught on fire. The Dybbuk. Okay, now if it were just the Dybbuk boxes that got destroyed, then I'd be suspect. I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, that seems paranormal. But if the whole prop house gets destroyed and the
Yeah.
Dybbuk boxes were just there, that could
Sounds
be a
like
coincidence.
a coincidence that that was the same storage unit that those are in.
Yeah.
So Rosemary's Baby, besides The Exorcist, is one of the last ones that I have on my list.
And this also seems more like the movie was cursed as opposed to
Yeah. So the events that transpired after the wrap of the film are shocking. Composer, oh, you want me to say
Chris
that? Christoph
Christoph
Komeda
Komeda
died of a blood clot a year after the film, same way a character had died in it. What
in the
was
film.
more petrifying was Polanski's wife Sharon Tate being
Slain.
slain along with 4 others by a cult, stabbed 100 times with words "pigs" written on the wall in blood. Now that goes back to Helter Skelter.
That's Helter Skelter.
Yeah.
And Sharon Tate, if you watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
Yeah. That's
um,
Sharon Tate.
it's Sharon Tate, and that um, actually proposes like an alternate ending to the Helter Skelter murders with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But yeah, Sharon Tate was killed by Charles Manson's group.
Yes, by Charles Manson's group. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Which
So the only thing, and I'm like, okay, Christoph Komeda died of a blood clot. That's not a big thing, but it's the same way a character had died in the movie. Okay, that seems an interesting
that's
coincidence.
an interesting coincidence. Um, the Helter Skelter, I love the Helter Skelter aspect to what happened with Sharon Tate and everything. Um, but that was supposed to be the fact that the producer that was supposed to be living there but was renting out the house to Sharon Tate uh denied Charles Manson his movie, and
Hmm.
so therefore he decided to send everybody over there to kill him, and they killed Sharon Tate instead. Uh, so I mean, I don't know. There's some coincidences there, but eh, I'm a little iffy on this one.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a couple deaths, and yeah, one
No,
seems oddly coincidental.
blood clot. You just could have been sitting in the car for too long, on a long drive. You never know
Yeah,
with
it's
blood
it's
clots.
it's odd that it happened in the movie too, but is it paranormal? I don't know.
Yeah,
Is
I
Sharon Tate's death paranormal? I don't think so.
no, I
It
don't.
was, was the curse of Rosemary's Baby the cause of Charles Manson going? No, I don't think. I don't think the two correlate.
No, I well, it is number 10 on the list, so I can understand why that'd be last.
Yeah.
But the main one, as much as I'm a big fan of the Poltergeist being probably the most haunted set out there, though, is actually the set of
The
The
Exorcist.
Exorcist.
That I mean, that's my favorite horror movie of all time.
Yeah, well, yes, yes. And if it's not
Um,
your favorite, and I'm just gonna say, listeners out there, if this is not your favorite horror movie of all time, go watch it again. Uh,
and
and-
some people find that dated because I mean it was 1973, but
yeah, I mean
you
this.
have to consider and when we do our horror movie lowdown, this movie is going to come up.
Yeah, because I mean this movie. There's well to me, Elm Street, Nightmare on Elm Street will always be my number one horror movie ever, ever.
Yeah,
Um,
I totally get
this
that. It's my
is
number 4.
this is my number two though.
Right.
Games.
But you gotta think this movie is 4 years older than I am.
Yeah.
19. I was born in 77. This is done in
73.
73.
Yeah. Now, I was born in 70, but I didn't watch this movie until 76
Oh yeah, yeah,
cuz
yeah.
I
Wait,
watched this movie the same year I watched Jaws.
Pause it.
yeah, yeah. And Jaws was done the year before I was born.
Yeah. Yes. I'm pretty sure you're dead.
Star Wars came out the year I was born.
Yep. That was
Same
my first
sense.
drive-in. That was my first drive-in movie was Star Wars.
Yeah, first
Um,
the month before I was born, it came out May, right? If I remember
yeah,
right, May of 77. So it's
7.
literally like a month older than I am. Star Wars,
Yeah.
but
It says here the best save for last, quite possibly the scariest horror film ever made, also warranted the scariest off-screen incidents. A part of the sets for The Exorcist went up in
C.
flames. And basically there were two sets. So there was one set which was the house,
yep,
and then there was one set which was the bedroom, just Reagan's bedroom.
yes,
And and they were right next to each other. The
yeah,
fire destroyed the house set, but Reagan's bedroom remained
yeah.
and it wasn't even touched. And that's where I'm like, okay, that might be a little paranormal to me.
That's a little freaky. Yeah, I can
That's
see how you differentiate between the one we were talking about before to this one.
yeah. And they said that the cast and crew were so freaked out by the incident they called a real pastor to genuinely exorcise the house,
Yep.
the set. Yes. Also, the actors playing Burt Dennings and Mrs. Karras died right before the release of the film. 8
Oh,
deaths are also associated with the production, with many blaming the filming for the cause of the death.
wow.
And then finally, a cross hung on the wall was displaced by a lightning bolt in a 16th century church opposite where the movie was shot.
Wow. That's interesting. I didn't know about that.
So
That's
I can kind of see why this is number one. I knew about the fire, but I didn't know about this other stuff.
no.
So
Like
that was really fascinating, and it's still my favorite movie of all time. It's like Linguiça. I don't care what's in it. I love the damn thing.
Ed. Not.
Linguista's
Not Linguiça is so good, but don't tell me how it's made. I know how it's made. I know what's in
it's
it.
like asking what's in chorizo.
It's like what's that thing? Yeah, chorizo. I mean, any type of sausage or hot dog. Uh, they were like, God, they did that. They did a video where they cut like a sliver off a hot dog,
Oh
and they
god.
showed it under a microscope,
Oh
and
yeah.
there's like organisms and shit in it. And I'm like, I know that. I don't care. I said, you might as well do the same thing with tomato sauce. Tomato sauce has an acceptable number of insect limbs that are allowed.
Yes. There's a
It's
acceptable amount of
it's not zero, ladies and gentlemen. You can have
zero.
insect limbs in your tomato sauce.
Guess what? Still going on my goddamn hot dog.
Still going on my spaghetti. I'm still eating a damn hot dog.
Still going on my burger.
Still going on my burger. I'm gonna cook the shit out of that hot dog, but I am eating that hot dog. I don't give a shit if there's don't don't tell me Oh my God, do you know what's in that? Yes, I know what's in it. I don't care. Don't tell me what's in it. I'm going to eat it anyway.
Do you think I don't have the internet? Of course I know what's in it.
Of course I know what's in it. And if I wanted to know what's in it, then I wouldn't want to eat it.
Yes.
Don't tell me what I want to eat a hot dog. Don't tell me what's in it. I want to eat my bologna. It has a first name.
It's BOLOGNAI. Hey.
I have no idea where the fucking I came.
BOLOGNAI.
Bologna.
Sorry, leave me alone.
Bologna.
All day drinking.
My all day drinking. My bologna has a first name. It's fuck you. I want to eat that bologna.
It's Bologna.
It's bologna.
It's not bologna. It's Bologna.
It's bologna. But I it's interesting, and I think there's tons more. Like I said, I have a documentary about a director
You're
that
supposed
filmed a
to share
movie.
that to me.
Huh?
You're supposed to share that to
I
me.
was supposed to share that with you. I have to fucking get to it.
That way I can watch that and see what that's about.
Yeah, I know it's with that pilot episode of Ghost Adventures that I have. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure it's in that same case. So I gotta see if I can find it. But yeah, I meant to do that, but it
Oh,
didn't happen because I gotta get to it. I gotta hunt for it. Um, but I it's so cool because it's like, dude stopped filming his movie because shit was happening on set.
yeah. You're telling
So
me about that.
so he brings in a documentary crew to film the stuff going on set
While he's
while he's finishing the movie, and then he shows that as a separate. The documentary is pretty cool. You can see like I said, you can see like a figure come up to the window, and you can see like stuff happening in the place they were in, like some kind of a abandoned
I want to
hospital or
see that.
something.
I want to see that.
Yeah, it's
Linda
pretty.
Vista. Yeah, I mean, speaking of hospitals, sorry, but Linda Vista was actually used in a movie.
Hmm.
I didn't realize that.
I couldn't tell you which movie, but I remember.
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember seeing the outside of the place, and I go, "Hey, that's Linda Vista."
Yeah, House of
And
a Thousand Corpses.
I can probably tell you. I know I've seen it at least twice in TV series, like
What?
just where you see the outside of
Yeah,
the place.
they did like they were inside the place.
Yeah,
I was
but I
like,
mean,
I'd love to talk to Rob Zombie about that experience.
yeah, I'd just love to talk to Rob Zombie, but
Well, yeah, I mean, I've gotten to talk to Rob Zombie, but that was all music, not nothing paranormal. Yeah, that's what happens when you get to work shows.
yeah.
uh, but no, I don't know. What do you think about the haunted movie sets? Do you think that the movies themselves can curse the set? Or do you think it's just all mumbo jumbo? I mean, how do you feel about that?
Well, it's interesting you asked that question, and I think it's kind of a. I don't necessarily think it's mumbo jumbo. I do think that if you tell the story about something, and especially if these horror movies are based on a true story,
Yeah.
and you're telling the story, you're
Yeah.
giving it power,
Yes.
and you're giving it the ability to manifest.
Yes. And we've talked about that before.
Yeah, so I think absolutely, like especially with Exorcist and Amityville and
And
The Omen and those kind of movies.
Annabelle and Conjuring,
Yeah, because
Haunting.
those are some basis in fact. Exorcism of Emily Rose, that that was a freaky one with the shadow figure following her around
Oh,
and stuff.
yeah. That I
I'm very intrigued about that.
I firmly believe that's the number one out of that list.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still
Because of that fact.
Exorcist is still number one, but yeah, the Exorcism of Emily Rose, because that's the only one that really reports shadow figures and stuff.
Yeah, and that how I that
That's the one that's got me the most concerned.
yes. Which is why I would put it at number one for me.
Yeah,
But
no, I sure with our extra danger factor,
yeah.
that would be the 10.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You
I
got
still
one
I still think The
photo?
Exorcist would be more haunted, but I think Exorcism of Emily Rose is more dangerous because of The shadow figure.
Oh, that was a good one.
Thank you. I tried to mute myself, but that was coming out in mid sentence. So
uh yeah, no, it's just okay. I all right. I can hear I God.
you're picking up what I'm putting down.
I could agree with you on that.
Let me speak slower so my words don't jumble up.
uh
Um, but yeah, I mean, I was originally I was like, we probably couldn't score these things,
I mean
but
I mean
there are certain things that we could go, oh, yeah, okay. So there's some residual there, and okay, there's some intelligent stuff there.
yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay, so I wouldn't say score them,
no,
but renumber them
but
maybe?
ranking them, yeah, I
Re-rank?
would re-rank them.
Yeah.
I would definitely. Rosemary's Baby still at the bottom. I think is number 10. Um,
Okay.
I would definitely. I think.
I still think put the Omen as one. I think the Omen
You think
has
you think The Omen is one? I think I'm
not
still
the Omen. I'm sorry. The Haunting of Rosemary. Of
the
God,
Exorcism of Emily Rose.
the Exorcism of Emily Rose. Not the,
The
oh my.
the Amityville Haunting of Rosemary's Baby. No, the Exorcist of Emily Watson. No, um, Curse. uh, but no, I'm more Exorcist. I think it should be number one, and I would put Emily Rose at number 2 for me.
I think it's just that danger level of the Exorcism of Emily
Yeah,
Rose. I think is why I put it at number one instead of
yeah.
number.
I just think there were more things that happened with The Exorcist. I think
Don't
haunted
get me wrong.
wise,
Yeah, okay, I
I
can see
think
that.
if
The
I'm
fact
if I'm looking if I'm looking at it at the danger level is only like that one bonus category.
yeah,
I don't think it's enough to pass what The Exorcist has. And I'm kind of like The Omen is not.
I have to honestly, I'm tempted to put Amityville at number one just for the simple fact that like the Amityville has been following us around for almost 2 years now.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering about the Amityville
Oh,
itself.
and I
And
forgot to tell you what did you write the first time? David sucks cocks. What? Hold on. I'm getting memos. Ask David how the Cocksuckers Anonymous is going. I, I said I was going to tell you on the next show, and I forgot until he just came in. The porno version is better. So I get handed a piece of paper.
I don't know what the fuck James is talking about.
He said, he said, he said, the exorcism of Emily Rose. And he hands me a piece of paper and it says, the porno version is better.
Of the Exorcism of Emily Rose?
Oh my God. Oh, Monty. Yeah, I totally forgot he wrote something to ask you. I was like, I'll tell you in the not PG show, the PG-13 show, because I say fuck a lot. Uh, but no, shit. What was I say? It's strange to me that every goddamn topic that we talk about Amityville comes up, and so it makes me want to throw that at number one. Just from personal perspective for the last year and a half, 2 years. So
Yeah, I halfway wonder because I mean we've talked about the Amityville house what, 5 times now?
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, at least.
At least 5 times. I mean, other shows we've mentioned it,
Yeah.
but you know, and it would have been really funny if Brett Wagner would have been in some sort of Amityville movie. I would have been like, dude, that
Uh,
just. But it makes me wonder if something's calling us.
it has that feeling to it, right?
Right.
And that's why I'm like I'm tempted to throw that as number 1 just from our personal perspective.
Yeah. I think I'll put it at number 3 just because
Number
of that.
3. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. That was going to be my number 3.
Yeah.
Um I think we swap ones and twos, but that's fine too.
Yeah, that's fine. We did that with our mediums and
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh god, that was an awesome episode.
fuck those guys.
Oh, fuck those. Fuck that guy.
fuck those. Fuck that guy. I know, and I'm actually I think I'm gonna put Passion of the Christ at 4
I think 4 is a good spot. That has a lot.
because of all the stuff that just happened to him. And
Yeah.
then I'm like, the Conjuring, Annabelle, Possession. Possession's probably way down. I think Possession and Rosemary's Baby probably belong at 9 or 10. But I think, maybe. I think Annabelle and The Conjuring. Yeah,
So, do you think it
that
goes
I think
Annabelle
I think
and
I think I
Conjuring
no.
or
I'm
Conjuring
still,
Annabelle?
Poltergeist needs to be up there. So I
I
think
think Poltergeist is the number 4, right? Wait, no, we just said Passion of the
we
Christ number.
we
No,
just have Passion of
Poltergeist
the.
number
I think no.
5.
I think
No, I think
I
we have
think
that wrong.
I think Poltergeist
Four
should be 4 and
and
Passion of
Passion
the
of the
Christ should be
Christ
5.
is 5.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I was say I think we have that backwards. I
yeah.
think Poltergeist. What? Wait, what was 3?
3 was Amityville.
Amityville. Yes.
So we have
Okay.
one
Yeah.
one Exorcist, well, you have one Exorcism Emily Rose. I have 2 Exorcism Emily Rose.
They're both Exorcist movies, so it's okay.
It's okay.
1 and
So
2 are.
and then we have
Then
Amityville
we have
3,
Amityville, and then Poltergeist,
and then Poltergeist, and then Passion of the
and then
Christ.
Passion of the Christ,
Yeah,
and then
and then
probably
maybe, and
Conjuring
then and then I'm thinking Conjuring, and Annabelle,
and Annabelle. That's 5 and
and
6.
5 and 6, and then Omen,
Omen 7.
Omen 7.
8 would be Rose.
No, Rosemary's
Rose
Baby's still 10.
still 10.
8. Wait, 8 would be Omen 7, Amityville, Poltergeist, Conjuring, Emily Rose, Passion of the Christ,
We talked
Annabelle,
about 10 of them, right?
Possession, Rosemary Baby. Okay, wait. So so Poltergeist is 4,
Okay.
Passion of the Christ is 5.
Exorcist.
Ex-
Exorcist.
I
Uh,
got I gotta fucking start writing these down because I'm like I'm
Exorcist,
losing I'm losing. So I'm
Amityville, Amityville,
Exorcist, Rose,
Poltergeist,
Amityville.
Passion of the Christ,
Don't tell me to be quiet, stupid phone.
Conjuring,
Wait.
Annabelle.
Amityville,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Poltergeist,
Yeah. Passion of the Christ,
Passion of the Christ,
Conjuring,
Conjuring,
Annabelle.
Annabelle,
And we need 3
and then
more.
Omen.
Okay. Omen. Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
That's 8.
7, 8. Yeah, and then Possession, and
Possession.
then and then
Possession.
Rosemary's Baby.
Oh, I forgot about Possession. Yeah.
There it is. Done.
That's it right there.
Yep.
Yep. I know our exorcists are swapped, but I think they could go either way for one
I
or
think
two,
they could go either way for one or two reasons. Either if we go most dangerous,
or most
Emily
haunted.
Rose for sure. Most haunted, Exorcist.
Exorcist, yes.
Yeah.
And
But
then
then
Amityville, because it's just a creepy fucking coincidence again.
yeah,
And
Amityville just keeps
and the
springing up.
fact that they brought in an actual priest to that place to
Yeah. Well,
um
they did that for The Exorcist. They
oh,
brought in
for
an
the
actual
yeah,
priest.
yeah.
But,
Oh,
Amityville, I
is
mean,
Amityville.
but if you look at it like Amityville, um, Conjuring, and Annabelle are all connected to Ed and Lorraine Warren.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, I don't know. Maybe it's an Ed or Lorraine Warren, Ed and Lorraine Warren thing. I don't know. It's something's going on there
Yeah.
that keeps bringing us back to that.
Yeah, we keep coming back to the Amityville house.
Yeah,
And I don't know.
there's something there. It's like
There's
it's a
some
calling.
yeah, I don't know. Something's really it makes me want to go there.
Yeah,
And I'm fine.
and I
How are
heard
you,
it's
devil? Mine said, "How are you, devil?"
no, you
How are you, devil?
devil. Oh,
So yeah, it said, "How are you, devil? Angry and up." Was my my last sequence of stuff. But yeah, I'm having some issues with my barrier spell.
yeah, I think so.
Because not only is and I think part of it is I can't get to I can't get to one of the stones. And I
Mm,
need to be at all four stones.
oh.
And one of them is just like overgrown with poison oak, so I can't get to it.
I
And
wonder why, Dave. I
I don't
wonder
know
why.
I don't know if that's a coincidence or if that's something interesting.
I wonder
But yeah,
why.
there's just poison oak growing all around this rock, and I'm like, dude, I can't get to it to do the spell. So I actually have to kill the poison oak um,
Times
and then I
first.
can pull it out, and then I can do the barrier spell. But I'm gonna I'm gonna do it full on with tarot cards, the whole shebang here in the next couple weeks,
Oh,
and see if
nice.
I can
See what happens with.
see if I can get it to close the door.
Yeah, as long as it's not raining, you can kill that shit real quick.
Yeah, as long as it's wanting water, I can kill it pretty well. Um.
Oh shit,
So anyway, that's kind of our show, bro.
that's our show, man. That I mean, simple, easy, great interview with Brett. Um, a big, huge squirrel moment in the middle.
Yeah. And we didn't get to spend too much time talking about the haunted movie sets, but it wasn't
There's not
there.
a lot to talk
There's
about on those, which when
yeah,
we
there's not
talk
a lot
about
of
it,
super duper history about it. I mean, we could probably find more. I mean, I had a YouTube video that I was gonna like bring up that was like 10 minutes long, but where they talk about stuff, and that was pretty cool.
well,
But
eh.
eh.
But next week on
Next week we are going to talk about our nation's capital.
not on Wednesday,
No, not on Wednesday.
not on Wednesday.
Not on April Fool's Day. But on okay, wait. So
We're going into May, right? Yeah. Okay.
yeah, do you want to? You don't want to go this Saturday, right? You want to
No,
go
no.
next Saturday.
Yeah. Well, next Saturday we will be back 7 o'clock normal time,
I like going back. So Saturday will be the
7th of May. Yeah.
7th of May, and I'll redo the schedule. So the 7th of May we'll be back, and we'll talk about Washington D.C.
Washington D.C. I'm intrigued about this place. I'm interested because I didn't even think about this place as a haunted city, but
But I
I,
mean, yeah, come on.
it
I think
makes sense. I mean,
yeah, it
the
makes a lot of sense.
a lot of death occurred in that area throughout multiple, wars and all that great stuff. But uh, that's gonna be interesting. So May 7th, 7 o'clock, we will be back. We are going back to Saturdays
Yeah,
because
seven o'clock Mountain, 6 o'clock
6
Pacific.
o'clock Pacific. Yep, 8 Eastern. Or wait a minute, 9
9
Eastern.
Eastern.
So we will be back at that time on Saturdays because I'm changing my schedule. Um, I'm gonna enjoy that one. And if for those of you who are not aware, Dave also has a YouTube page for movies that he rates and reviews and all that great stuff. And I am awesome enough to be allowed to be a co-host on that show.
You're totally awesome enough.
Called the 4K Lowdown. That is on Wednesday nights.
Mhm.
And are we gonna put that to 7 o'clock too? I think
We're gonna go 7 Mountain, 6
7
Pacific.
Mount, 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern on that one as well. But that'll be a normal day like today, but on Wednesdays, day after new release day. So if you guys want to check out and hear us talk about and bullshit and rate movies, go check that YouTube channel out. What's the YouTube channel, Dave?
It is the 4K Lowdown.
It is the 4K Lowdown. Okay. I thought it was just the Lowdown for some odd reason.
Nope, it's the
4K
4K
Lowdown.
Lowdown, and yeah, and I'm on Facebook and Twitter as the Lowdown 1, and Instagram as the Lowdown 2.
Yeah, and of course Facebook. Yeah, 4K Lowdown. Yeah, so uh, check that out as well. Again, if you can't get enough of us, you can watch either show. You
Yep.
can't get enough of me and Dave.
Oh,
You can't get enough of us. We
and
have
check
a
me
lot
out.
to give.
Yeah, check me out tomorrow. I will be battling tomorrow.
Yes.
I am dueling movie collections with another person. Uh, Basically, it's called the movie collection battle, and it's a one-on-one matchup where I take on another guy, and we're gonna get asked a series of 9 questions that are all about steelbook. So it'll be pick your favorite steelbook that's like sci-fi or
That's 4K.
whatever, and then
If you don't know what Steelbook is, that's 4K.
well, not necessarily. I have Blu-ray steelbooks. I even have a DVD steelbook, but
Really?
it's basically a movie that was released as a special edition
Yeah,
in a
special
metal
editions. Okay.
case.
Okay. Yes,
It's a
but no,
special,
metal case,
yeah,
special. Like Dune.
generally like
Oh,
Dune.
Dune.
They generally only make like a certain amount of them. Um,
I got Dune. I got the
so
Dune
some kind,
special case.
yeah,
Original.
I did not get the steelbook of that, but I did get the 4K,
Oh, I
and
did.
it is phenomenal in 4K.
I'll send it to you before the. When's that show? I'll max ship
Tomorrow.
it to you. You can throw that bitch on there. Damn,
overnight me that tonight, so I get
5 dollar
pow, Dune
Steelbook
steelbook. Take it.
Vision extended cut, double sided disc.
Yeah,
What you got now?
yeah. I have the original Dune 4K
Yeah,
steelbook.
yeah. I got the collector's edition Steelbook when it came out. It's fucking awesome. It's a dual sided disc before they started doing double disc.
Hmm.
It's cool. I love that fucking movie. Can't wait for the new Dune part 2 to come out. But yes, check that out. What time is that, Dave?
That is 5:30 or 5 o'clock Pacific time.
Pacific time, so 8:30 Eastern,
Yeah, I'm gonna see
6:30
because he
Mountain
hasn't
Time, 6:30.
posted. I'm waiting for him to post an update on that because he's supposed to like put a thumbnail out advertising it and dee da dee da dee da dee. So I
Well,
don't
I'll
see
tell you what,
anything.
everybody go check out the 4K Lowdown. Of course, stay on the Facebook page with us. Go to the YouTube page, like and subscribe to the YouTube page because that also helps us out on the Spirits with John and Dave on YouTube. Um, and of course, go check out the Lowdown, man. You can't get enough of me and Dave. We're funny.
Yeah, we're delightful. We have our sultry voices and
Yes.
hello.
The 4K
That's
Lowdown.
right. Welcome to the lowdown.
Spirits with Spirits.
Spirits with spirits.
I can't do that with this
We're
ring.
we're gonna break it down for you slow.
Coming to you on the 104 FM. Spiritual Spirits.
KCOK.
KCOK. KCOK.
Welcome to KCOK 95.
Told you he had issues.
where, where we are always erect.
Where we are always on the rise.
Something's always looking up.
Oh, never mind. Premature.
Ah, damn it. And we all know where north is.
Oh, so yes, check out. Of course, stay watching us, but definitely check out the 4K lowdown. Dave also does a box opening on his YouTube page, so check that stuff out. And again,
Yeah.
don't just forget to like and subscribe the 4K lowdown, but like and subscribe Spiritual Spirits on the YouTube page. With that said, I think we're done for the night. So I want to say thank you to Anchor for allowing us to take the audio portion of this podcast or broadcast and put it out there as a podcast for places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Breaker. That's a lot of podcasts, Pocket Cast, podcasts.
There's a
But
lot of cast going on.
but they're generous enough to allow us to do that completely for free. So if you guys are trying to do your own thing, go ahead and check it out. But not only will they do it for free, they will also sponsor you out. Don't get me wrong, you guys aren't becoming millionaires with using Anchor unless you get some big sponsors. But yeah, they will sponsor you. And of course, thank you for Restream for allowing us to do the multicast. I don't know why I'm thanking them because they fucked us on Facebook tonight.
They fucked us on Facebook tonight.
Page with the Spiritual Spirits. We're on the YouTube page with Spiritual Spirits with John and Dave. We also have Twitch and Twitter and Vaughn Live, so you can catch us live multiple different ways and listen to us multiple different ways. So go enjoy the show, man. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I love seeing when people subscribe. It makes my heart happy. But that's it for tonight, man. Great night, great show. Can't wait for the 7th on the new night. And Dave, any closing remarks from you, bud?
Nope. Great show. I love the interview with Brett tonight. And I'm looking forward to Washington, D.C. next Saturday. And then, I'm kind of excited as to what the future holds for us.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm so gonna make you talk Brett into coming out with us August. So
I will, and I think he'll be totally in too. So I think that'd be awesome.
All right, guys. Well, we are gonna say goodnight. Enjoy the creepy music while we scanter off.